And we're live. Welcome back to Where Heartbreak Feels Good, a dazzling podcast about stories that may or may not feel powerful. Joining me today, we have Josh Woodbury and Sean talking about, well, what we watched this month, from the Batman to, last week's Oscars and everything in between. Josh, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, I'm Josh. My if you're watching the video, my handles in my screen there. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about everything I watched in March. This would be a little thing that we're gonna be doing every other month or every month. So it's cool to start up right now.
Yeah. And Sean, mind introducing yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So pretty much the same thing for me. I really wanted to talk about specifically Batman, and I guess most movies that should have been, you know, fucking besides Denis not winning Best Director, everything else that didn't
Yeah,
happen, and anything but Will Smith.
yeah. I'm not talking about that right now. Way too much
Go to
time going
Twitter.
on.
Go to Twitter
Yeah,
if you want to talk
that's
about it.
not
Exactly.
that's not what we're here for right now.
But anyway, well, I think we should start with the very first thing that we watched, and the very first thing that came out on the month of March, and that, of course, being the Batman, with Robert Pattinson, directed by Matt Reeves. And I mean, we already did like a
We did like
almost
a
three
3 hour
hour,
review, basically.
yeah, like a 3 hour
Mm-hmm.
review about the Batman. So
I'll make it three
if
more
you
hours.
if you watch if you watch that episode,
It
you
was our
know
first
what.
episode,
Yeah,
so go
our
back
first
and watch
episode, by the
that.
way.
Mm.
You if you watch that episode, you know what are our thoughts about the movie, mine and Josh's. But Sean, well, is there anything that you would want to add to the conversation
Yeah, the movie is
regarding the
the
Batman?
equivalent. Yeah, there's so much to say about it, especially when it comes out on HBO later this month. I'm gonna be
Oh
rewatching
yeah,
it
it is
like
this month,
every
huh?
day.
When is that?
Mm-hmm.
Which day exactly?
Let me look it up real quick.
I think it's like 90 days after, right? Or
Yeah,
no, not 90. It's what, 30?
yeah. It's the
April 19th. April 19th.
30 day window.
So it's like 45, I think, actually.
Yeah, April
Yeah.
19th.
Interesting.
So about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Yeah, yeah, two
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, about like 2 weeks from now.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. So it's. I doubt I'll like a movie more than this one this year. Besides,
Wow.
what else is coming out? I mean, come on, it's not that far to say.
I
It's
mean,
not a far
there's
fetch.
we're
I mean,
gonna
me
get
and
into
you
it with
have a
Josh
movie
later.
that. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Does
But I'm
Oppenheimer
with
come out
you,
this year
Sean.
or
I'm
is it
with
next
you.
year?
Oppenheimer's
That's next
probably
year, right?
next year, yeah.
Yeah. But for now, I feel very confident in saying that. I think.
Shrek. He's built different, yeah.
Yeah, essentially, I think in terms of just what Matt Reeves does with, I realized this, like, upon rewatching the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War, just the two movies, because he didn't direct Rise, I noticed that he loves making movies about fear and like fucking Cloverfield as well, right? And just having
Yeah.
this theme of what exactly fear is and how people overcome it or how people use it. And like for example, Caesar in the Planet of the Apes trilogy, where he uses it as his advantage to take down humans, and Cloverfield, obviously, like the way the monster is presented in that whole thing,
Yeah, like
and
Godzilla, basically. Yeah.
exactly. And that's what I love about like he does a recurring theme and it's just such a different story each time. That's what I love about his work. But overall, it's honestly my favorite Batman movie, probably my favorite superhero movie of all time. I would say at the
It's up
moment.
there for
Oh,
me, yeah.
damn. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's really that for
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I love The Dark Knight, but this movie, it just hits different. Like there's
Yeah,
just
it
a vibe
does,
about
yeah.
it that,
Hmm.
like, the noir aspect of it all is just so like captivating. And I mean, I've
Hmm.
seen the movie already, what, 4 times? Wish I would have seen it a fifth and final time in Dolby, but I missed it.
Yeah.
The man
but
who's not
yeah,
here, Preston, he's seen it 5 times, which is crazy.
I have to
I've seen
beat
it 3
him.
times, which I'm very embarrassed about.
Yeah, I'm at
Yeah,
3
But
right
I
now
was in a
too.
situation where I could not watch it more
Yeah.
than 3 times. So
yeah. Or
yeah, I think the
Get the fuck
noir.
out of here, Trey. It is not mid. I know you're joking, but
he's
still.
that dude on Twitter. That one, you know what I'm talking about? That dude.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah.
No, Connor,
The-
he does not think that. Come on.
Shut the hell up. Yeah, but I think the way the movie, like you were saying, noir, it's like essentially the way it acts like an opening detective noir movie in the first 20 minutes
Yeah.
of the movie, where it's him narrating, that's straight up the most noir shit. Like, you can just like put a black and white filter over it and have some blinders, and then just have a detective looking out, and that's Batman.
I would love
And
to see.
that's the movie.
I'd love to see a black and white version of this movie. That'd be really cool.
Hopefully, there's something like
Yes.
that on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Like, I just love how.
cinematography in the movie.
Yeah, cinematography is amazing. I just love how like this film captures Gotham finally, like in a.
Yeah.
It's really unique compared to like other versions we've seen.
Yeah, because Gotham kind of acts as its own character throughout the whole movie,
Exactly.
honestly. And you just like,
Yeah.
you think there's no way this city can get worse, and it gets worse with each progressing scene. It's like a cesspool of just shit and
Yeah.
disgusting violence, 24/7.
Yeah. For a 3-hour movie, that movie flies. Like every time that I rewatch
Mhm.
it flies by even like more so. It's so well paced. Like there's not a single
Yeah.
minute of that movie wasted. And I know a lot of people don't like the third act, which I mean, that's their opinion, but I really like the third act, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, yeah, of course, like every third act in a Batman movie is just about Batman saving. But in this movie, just feels like different. It feels like he's actually like with them, like on the ground, like on the scene, and that's just something that sticks out to me, like even more so than the action scenes in that entire like 30-minute sequence.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I just like how it's like first and foremost a detective story. Like we don't see that often. We haven't seen it in like a live action Batman movie. So that's why
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
it.
I think the
It
closest thing we've
portrays
done
him
into
less
that.
as a hero and more of a detective, and
Yeah.
embraces his comic roots way more so than anything else.
Yeah,
And even more so than Arkham, honestly. Like, you just feel it
Mm-hmm.
with each scene.
yeah. I really wonder how the sequel's gonna feel, because like this movie really does feel like a detective growing into the like the mantle of the hero.
Yeah.
So what's gonna be the next step? What's gonna be like his next like obstacle to overcome, and how is he gonna adapt? That's something that I want to know. That I really want to see realized. Like, see him like
Yeah, me
develop,
too.
for example, the Bruce Wayne
Mm-hmm.
identity. That's gonna be really fun.
So yeah, that's
Um,
like I think the first new release of March that we've seen. But to go back and what Sean said, my first actual like logs on Letterboxd of this month were Dawn and War for the Planet of the Apes, the like Matt Reeves' Apes movies, and like I think Dawn is one of the best sequels of all time.
Me too.
It's
yeah,
just it's so fucking good. The
Just
way
realized
I
how perfect his openings are to all of his movies. Best
yeah, like
yeah,
the
openings
opening
ever.
shot in Dawn is
Yeah,
incredible. And the ending
I
shot,
know.
how like it's a parallel
And
too.
in War II, like the Vietnam kind of parallel, where the helmet in the back, it's so
Yeah.
fucking
yeah.
brilliant.
That movie, Dawn, especially Dawn of Planet of the Apes, out of that trilogy, it hits very differently now in the
Yeah.
current in the current state that we are right now in the world. But also going back to what Sean was saying earlier about um about
Did
like
we
fear.
did you watch Morbius in March, Edgar?
Yeah, we'll
We're
get
not.
to it, but yeah,
Please, can we not talk about
Yeah,
that? I'm
okay, we'll
begging
get
you.
to it at
No,
the
no.
end, I
we'll
guess.
get to it by the end. That's
Unfortunately.
literally, I think that's the last movie that I watched this month. Actually,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Tune in for at
Um,
the end of the podcast for Edgar's review on Morbius.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking just not be here for that.
but going back to the whole like what Sean was talking about, like how Matt Reeves like likes to like represent like the sense of fear. That movie, especially Dawn, like the way that people view the apes, not necessarily just like as quote unquote freaks, because I mean they're intelligent, but like the whole aspect of like them being afraid of them because they blame them because of the pandemic within that world. It creates such a
Yeah.
great conflict that I don't think I've seen something like that, and within that genre at least, or like that type of storyline like tackled like so well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah.
Also,
They.
that tank shot when it's like that like one shot like
Amazing.
following the tank. So good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
So
Also, like, well, go ahead.
you do it?
Oh, well, I was just gonna mention like how I always forget that. I guess spoilers for this scene in War for the Planet of the Apes. I always forget that his family gets murdered. Like,
Yeah,
like
that
his
scene
son.
is
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The music during
like
that scene is incredible.
yeah, Michael Giacchino. Or
War is like
Giacchino.
the
What do you
best.
pronounce it?
It's such a perfect Rapture
Michael
trilogy.
Giacchino.
Giacchino. Cool.
Giacchino.
Giacchino.
Giacchino. Giacchino.
Paolo.
It's a me, Paolo.
Koba. Oh
Um,
Okay,
yeah,
but
so
Koba
what
is
was
the
your
villain as
first
well.
watch?
Koba is the
Was
best
yours Batman, Sean?
Yeah, it was, and then I watched the. Wait, no, no, I did watch Dawn before, and then I watched War after I watched Batman.
Yeah, that's what I did.
oh, okay.
So
You see the
Also,
range of Andy Serkis between three movies.
yeah.
you guys really need to watch Matt Reeves' Let Me In. His like vampire
I've heard you
horror.
talk about it. Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah, like it's basically Zodiac meets like the vampire like subgenre, and it's so good. And
Mhm.
even one of the villains like wears a mask that is very similar to the one that Paul Dano wears as Riddler in the Batman. So there's
Yeah,
some really cool shots on there.
yeah, I could easily see him making like a Zodiac movie or some shit like that. Like I could see him directing any kind of serial killer thing.
He basically did it with Batman, honestly.
Pretty
Yeah,
much, yeah. That's my
Yeah.
favorite genre overall, like detective serial killer kind of shit.
Mystery.
Like
Yeah.
Mindhunter. Yeah, Seven. So that's I wish he did more of it. He's only done Let Me In and Batman for now. But if he the more he does of that, the better for me. Because he knows how to make like tension more than any director I've seen in the 21st century, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
master of tension, man. There's not a single like scene where you can't even call the movie any of his movies bland because it all feels like you don't get any fucking time to breathe because of how
Mm-hmm.
gripping, like for example, the funeral scene was in Batman, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
how it just doesn't let up and it just consistently tense and you're nervous and it's just fucking amazing throughout the whole
Yeah.
shot or sequence.
All right. Trey saying worst person in the world was his favorite watch in March. Yeah, I rewatched it in February, so
Yeah.
it's not part of this video, but just to touch on that real quick, it's a masterpiece of a film.
I really need to rewatch that. When did I watch it? I want to say like towards the end of December, early January.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
have to
heard good
rewatch
things.
that.
you should
You
watch
haven't
it,
seen it?
Sean. It's amazing.
I've heard really good things. It's like that meme of the woman running. I've seen that shit.
It's a meme now.
It is, yeah. Go with the
We're turning
times.
That
everything
sequence is
into a
probably the
meme.
best of
It's
his
on
year
every
so
like
far.
every letterbox meme. You see that first. That's the first picture that pops up.
No, I haven't seen that.
Um,
Okay,
what
so
else was
what should we
coming?
talk about next? My next log on Letterboxd was The Fallout. Has anyone seen that?
The Fall. I've seen it. Yeah.
No.
With
Did that come out on
Jenna
March
Ortega?
or?
I think that I watched it
Yeah.
later. But
Okay, I think I
Jenna
watched that.
Ortega
That's on
is
HBO.
it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
It's a Max original, and it's like it's really good. What would you say? It's like
Oh
I don't want to
shit!
spoil
Jenna
it
Jenna
because
Ortega's in it, right?
yeah, Jenna
Yeah.
Ortega is amazing in it, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to give it away because that's what like hit me was what it was about.
Yeah.
But it's just really well
Those
shot drama.
those first 10 to 15 minutes they're like kind of watch. And
Exactly.
Jenna Ortega saying, what's the name of the other girl? The co-star?
Maddie Zedwer.
Maddie
I think.
Ziegler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing it too.
Yeah, she's really good, and also the boy that they're in those first like 10-15 minutes, like just you can just tell like the panic in their eyes, like the anxiety. Like again, we don't want to
Yeah.
spoil what the quote unquote twist is because I didn't know what the movie was about going into
Yeah,
it.
that's why I loved it so much because I had no idea what it was going into it,
Yeah,
and I want to
and
keep that
like
for people watching.
yeah,
But the
I just
direction
love
is
her.
really
I
well
love
done.
her
So
in Scream so much.
oh yeah, she
She was so
was
good in
great
it.
in Scream, and we'll talk about it later. But in Ets, she's also great.
yeah. What else did I watch this month?
Did you watch Fresh, Edgar?
Yeah, I watched
You want to talk
Fresh
about
for
that for a
better or
bit?
worse. Yeah, can we
You
talk
liked
about it
it?
real quick? I mean, I don't think that we ever streamed this episode anywhere. We just
No,
kind of
this was
like,
before before this podcast.
no, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we had like a special like meetup between friends talking about movies from Sundance, and the way that you guys feel about Duel is the way that I kind of feel about Fresh. It's
Really?
I get the point. I get what they were going for. It just didn't really hit with me, and
I
I
did
don't
that.
know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like very, especially towards the third act, it becomes just very jarring and very
The
repetitive.
third act
And
is definitely the weakest part of the film.
yeah,
I just think it's just a lot of fun, and like it has one of my
yeah,
favorite dance sequences in cinema,
yeah.
and like that
The first act,
it goes hard.
the first act is really good because it almost makes you think that
Then
you're watching a rom com.
exactly, then like the credits hit like 40 minutes in the
Yeah,
movie, and it's such a good title drop.
yeah.
And yeah, like Tris
Also,
and Daisy Edgar Jones is fantastic in it.
yeah. But also the movie
And
just like
yeah,
kind of like struck me as a lesser version of Get Out. It's
yeah,
not
I did that.
necessarily the same concept, but it's kind of like the same
It's
vibe and
similar.
almost,
A
yeah, it's
lesser
very
version of Get
similar.
Out.
Yeah,
That
at least
sounds.
for me.
That sounds. I don't know how to take that as someone who's not seen the movie.
It's a cool movie though. I liked the twist and stuff. And Sebastian Stan
I
is
just,
probably the best I've seen him in.
yeah, I just
Mhm.
wish they actually
Is
did
Dakota
something with the
Johnson in it, or
commentary.
is that
No, it's
that
Daisy
Dakota
Edgar
Johnson?
Jones
The
and
Disney
Sebastian
Jones.
Stan.
That looks like her.
What
Yeah,
else
they
has
look
she
so
been
much.
in?
This is the first thing I've seen her in.
Hmm. Also, I watched very early during this month, right after the Batman. There's this movie on Hulu, I believe. It's called No. Is it No Exit? I think it's No Exit.
No,
Let
that's
me
it.
double
Yeah,
check.
I've been meaning to watch that, but I've never gotten around to it.
Yeah, that's again. That's just another like I gave it like a 3 out of 5 stars. It's fine. It's whatever. It's kind of forgettable after a few days since you watched it, but I really like the one location thriller vibes of it. There's some really cool twists towards the end. There's some really brutal like death scenes, very like shocking death scenes in that
Mm.
movie. But also,
Were they
kind of
Halloween
forgettable.
shocking death scenes?
They were more shocking in the sense that you didn't expect things to go the way they do. Like there's like a scene. I don't know what you call them, like those pistols that people use for nails, like throws like nails very fast. I
Oh,
don't
the
know the
nail
name of
gun?
them. Yeah, the nail gun. There you go.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Uh,
that sounds
and
cool.
it's very like shocking the way something goes down regarding that weapon. But yeah,
Yes, evil dies tonight, Trey.
Evil dies
Never
tonight.
forget.
That's still the most gory shit I've seen, honestly.
Yeah, I've heard No Exit is pretty solid. Like I said, I've
yeah.
been meaning to get to it, but I've never gotten around to it yet.
But what about you? What about your thoughts about Fresh? Going back to Fresh, real quick,
Yeah,
because you've
yeah.
seen the movie.
This was one of my favorites from Sundance because it caught me off guard so much because I had no idea what it was. Like, I'm sure like all of us thought it was just a rom com. And that title drop happens, and like, holy shit, this is like on you're running for a ride right now. And like, I
Yeah,
love the twists and turns, and the performance is really good. And yeah, it does teeter a bit in the third act, but I in this case, I'm fine with it being style over substance because the style hits really hard in this movie.
Yeah, I get that. What else? Oh, another movie from Sundance that I got to watch this month. After Yang.
Oh yes, let's talk about
Ooh,
that for a
I've
bit.
heard good things
My
about
number
that.
2 of 2022 so far.
Is it number 2?
It's my number 2. Yep.
Over the Batman.
Yep.
Dang.
That film hit me
Couldn't be
so
me.
hard.
Yeah. Another Colin Farrell movie where he's even just as good, if not better, than in the
Came out the
Batman.
same day as Batman too, which is crazy.
Yeah, great weekend for Farrell
Farrell
fans.
Friday.
His
Never
range.
forget.
Farrell Friday. But yeah, that movie just like I didn't really know what the movie was about going into it. So when I
Me
just
too,
started
yeah.
watching the movie, it kind of just hits you like a buzz when you realize what the movie is about. It's basically like
Exactly.
the meaning of life and death, whether or not you're wasting your life on things that don't really matter when you should be focusing on your family or your loved ones.
Definitely.
It's a really powerful
Yeah.
message, especially the way that the movie ends. It just like it literally just ends with like people just sitting on the couch together.
Exactly.
But
It's such
but
a
but it hit.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just have you seen Columbus? Todd other film?
No.
It's the way he crafts these stories and a somber yet hopeful and comforting tone is so interesting, and it's even further with After Ain, where there's this feels all warm despite it being about this sad topic or sad subject matter and stuff, and it's such
Yeah.
an ambitious ambitious sci-fi world, but very understated, which I really loved.
Yeah. I also really love like again, like you were saying, like it's very somber but also hopeful. Like the way the movie says, like, yeah, like all of us are gonna die eventually one day,
Exactly. The
but
way it's written is just so
yeah,
authentic
yeah, but if you use
for
your
being a
time,
sci-fi film, which is crazy.
yeah, but eventually it's like the movie saying like if you use your time correctly in this life, you're gonna go out like good. You're gonna be fine. Like
Yeah.
you lived a good life, basically. And seeing that story through like the androids, is it an android or what do they call them
Yeah,
eventually?
I'd say they're
Yeah.
androids. Yeah.
Yeah, like that Blade Runner esque kind of vibe. It's
It's very
very
similar to Blade
creative.
Runner, but more
Yeah,
understated, even more
yeah.
understated.
Also, it's very creative the way how people go into other people's like memories, like the
That
way it
each
opens to like
scene
a
where
galaxy.
where he's going into his memories, this fucking tears start rolling down. Because the music is so beautiful and it just hits so much. Especially every time they cut to that concert, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, another great dance musical number in a
Yeah, the opening
non-musical number,
credits,
maybe.
really
Yeah.
good.
Man, if you
Is
say
Okay,
there?
so
like Blade
Sean,
Runner, I gotta see it.
Oh,
yeah, you
you
should
do,
see it.
you
It's on
do.
Showtime if you have that. That's where it's streaming right now.
Mhm.
Okay, so what else have you seen, Sean?
So I did watch the Oscar movies mostly, like the best ones. So I saw Power of the Dog and then Nightmare Alley and West Side Story. So those
Okay.
three are all
Those three.
amazing movies. I mean, they were 2021, but I
I
did watch
rewatched all
those.
three of those this month too, so we talked about
Me
those.
too.
Yeah, Power of the Dog. On my second viewing, it's crazy how much it opened itself up to me again. It was kind of a different experience where seeing
Yeah.
how much detail Jane Campion put in that movie. And Benedict Cumberbatch
Yeah.
is incredible in that role, and that ending shot is fucking haunting. It's so
Yeah,
good.
the ending shot is amazing. I definitely need to see it again because my first impression wasn't the best, honestly. I
Really?
mean, I really did like it. Like I understood what we were trying to do, but overall, I just couldn't see like I could see the themes and the way the story was trying to unfold, but I couldn't really get any character motivation throughout the movie, and I really didn't get to relate to the characters as much as I wanted to.
I
It's
think you're
great
similar
acting,
to that feeling,
perfect acting,
Edgar,
actually.
also, right?
Yeah, again, I think I gave that movie last year like a pretty good review. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 5 or something on Letterboxd. Um, Mostly because it's just a very well made movie. It looks good. It sounds good. It's performed very very well. But again, going back to what Sean was saying, I get what the movie's trying to say. I get the themes, but like I don't necessarily care about these people. Like even the person that we're supposed to be rooting for, I feel like we don't get enough time to actually like get attached to him.
Yeah,
Like
I agree with
what's
that.
his name? Peter,
The kid,
the kid's
yeah,
name.
Yeah,
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
he
you guys
didn't
should
really like.
rewatch
He didn't have
because
an
I
arc at
think it
all. Like
could.
I don't really see where he
I
went
disagree with
from.
that.
I
I think you
don't
guys
know.
should rewatch the movie because like that's where it really hit me was the second time.
And like Benedict
yeah,
Cumberbatch is fucking amazing in it.
Yeah,
It's just
he's.
like
I think he should have
besides
won
him,
personally.
yeah. I mean, besides him, I didn't really. I don't know. I didn't really get any character motivation, or I guess I didn't really see a need for half those characters. Like even Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons are like
Really
they're just there. Honestly, yeah. I mean,
interesting.
I don't really understand that part, that
yeah,
portion of the whole. Like half of their purpose is to just service Peter into his relationship with Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't really see anything else besides that.
yeah. It feels like they're just there to drive the plot and not necessarily to add anything
Hmm.
else. At least in my opinion, that's
Yes,
how I
that's
feel.
exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But I have to rewatch it. Like the first time that I tried to watch that movie, I fell like asleep halfway through, and then the
Wow.
second time I actually did finish it from the finish, but
I was about
didn't
to.
really stick.
I'm about to leave.
I didn't, but I was tempted. I'm not gonna lie.
Man.
What was the other
I
movie
do
that
see
you?
like it's a really good movie. Like it's really good. Just
No, I get it. Yeah, it's not for everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, what was the other film that you watched? Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley, yes, which is a fucking masterpiece, honestly.
It's so good.
And it was Dune is my best picture, for sure overall. But besides that, Nightmare Alley is just perfect. It's a perfect movie. Like
The
I
way
the
the
really,
ending
stakes,
wraps around the
yeah.
arc of his character is incredible.
Even though it's a even though it's trying to like be a classic movie or reinvent a classic movie all over again, it does it in such a unique way where it just feels like it's so much more tense and it's gripping because I wasn't bored during a single part of the entire movie. It's just like everything completely immersed me into that world, and I wanted to be in that carnival,
Exactly. Yeah.
regardless of how creepy it was. And I felt like it was in the
yeah.
like the lighting, the shadows, the way the what was Ron Perlman's character's name again? Or not him?
Um,
Uh, Willem Dafoe. Yeah,
Willem
sorry.
Dafoe. Yeah.
That whole carnival sequence was amazing. The
Yeah.
beginning and the way he starts out, like hating that guy who, uh, what was the thing called again? Like the where you're getting whipped or something, and you're like
The
you get
Beast.
paid to be the beast, right? The way you go, the way the cycle works for a beast, it's just poetic as hell. How he
Yeah.
contributes to hurting that person, and he becomes that person at the very end through obsessing about money. It's just such a fucking good movie, man.
yeah,
It
Yeah.
says
Del
so
Toro's
much.
world building is just like you get enraptured by it, especially during the like first act in the circus sequence.
Hmm.
But everything that goes on in the circus, I just fucking adore, and it's just so well done.
yeah. Also,
Yes.
like we were talking about right now with like Power of the Dog, where well, like at least for me and Sean, like we don't really like relate to these characters, but like Nightmare Alley has very like despicable protagonist, that yet you're sort of almost rooting for him to succeed, even though you're not supposed to.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, it's very, um, I don't want to say original because it's been done like
It's a
countless of
remake,
times, but like,
honestly. Yeah.
And
yeah,
part of the reason of that is just because of how good Bradley Cooper is and him selling
yeah,
the character of like a piece of shit person. And I don't know, just it's so much better done than I'm not trying to compare it to Power of the Dog or anything, but in terms of the way I care about a bad person, it executed it so much better, like in every possible aspect.
yeah.
I
Also, am I the
disagree,
only one who
but
got?
sure.
Am I? Am I the only one who kind of got like a Indiana Jones vibe with his outfit at the beginning?
Oh yeah, the
I did
hat,
too. I
coat.
was about to say that. Yeah,
He would be so good as like a
it
Ned
would be.
Cindy.
Yeah,
I could see
definitely
that.
Probably
better
didn't
than
too
Brad
old
than
for
Chris
it, but
Pratt.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I could easily see that actually. Shia LaBeouf, move over.
I really want to see how that last movie is gonna pan out for Harrison Ford, and
I don't even know at
Yeah,
this
this
point
would
what
be
the fuck they're gonna do.
interesting. I'm
Could they even
excited
have
that Phoebe
Shia in
Waller-Bridge
it
is in
or
it. That's awesome.
yeah,
dude,
And
I,
that James Mangold
I
is
Oh
directing.
yes, yes.
yeah, I really wonder
I
who
think
they're
it's
gonna
gonna be
try to
good.
pass the baton to, if they do.
Hopefully her. That'd be awesome. If
Hopefully,
Phoebe
who?
Waller-Bridge is our Ned Cindy.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
Dude,
amazing.
imagine. That would be fucking amazing.
What else is on the table? They didn't.
West
Well,
Side
they didn't
Story?
read. Oh, well, yeah. Well, let's stay with the Oscar
Let's
movie.
wrap up Oscars, yeah.
Which, and then I was gonna say it was Power of the Dog, West Side Story. Yes.
West Side Story. So Edgar, you're notoriously not the biggest fan of this movie, but you rewatched
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah. This month, like I think the day of, or well, I started watching the first half of the movie like the night before the Oscars, and I finished it the next morning. But yeah, I'm notoriously known in our friend group as the person who doesn't like that movie.
As
uh,
as the one with the bad opinion. Yes.
well, that was a few months ago, my friend. I just like my problem with that movie never was and is like the performances or the technical side of that movie or the directing from Spielberg. I think everything about that movie that it's made, it's almost like top notch, like it's perfect. My problem always was like the story and not really giving a shit about the characters and their motivation,
Yeah.
especially the way like how certain like plot points are like organized towards the third act, with Maria and Tony and other and like her brother and a bunch of other characters. So
It's
that's
a
the reason why I
decade
didn't.
swan story. We did spoil
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know. Like we get it at
yeah,
that point.
The way Maria fucks fucks Tony after her brother dies, yeah, that's not good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like that's what happened in the original. Just don't
Exactly.
change what's
It's
already.
not this
Don't
movie's
if it's
fault.
fixed.
It's
If it's not
like
No, yeah, 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 yeah. But
if
like
it's
that's
not
how
hell,
broken,
I
like
just
Romeo and Juliet had that too, which is
yeah.
yeah.
what the story's based
That's
on.
basically how that's basically how I felt.
They just. I mean, it's actually
Um.
realistic. Like they fall in love, right? It just
It's
happens
not
and shit.
realistic.
But it just like it's like me. It's like me when I see Edgar at Celebration. You know, it's like it just happens. After I tell him how
um.
bad Dune is.
What?
That's not gonna happen.
Plot twist.
I jest. Dune is the best cinema.
Yeah.
Best
But yeah,
cinema.
just the craft of West Side Story is just so undeniably like incredible.
Yeah.
And the cinematography, like the shot of who knew that a shot of fucking Ansel Elgort would be one of the best of last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
I
puppet
love
shot.
I love when they're inside that shop, the Ansel Elgort's mom's shop. It's like you can when he's outside the mirror, there's like this red lights, and it's like it's such good cinematography. There's red lighting with the background of it raining. Everything in that shop is like A-list cinematography, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, this movie might have like the best like debut by anybody, by an actor and actress.
Yeah.
Um,
Rachel Zegler.
Rachel Zegler, it's just so charismatic in this movie. I can't wait to see Shazam. And what else is she gonna be? Oh, Snow White.
Snow White.
Yeah. But honestly, the standout for me, and I think everybody else is Ariana DeBose.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's just
great.
She was my favorite part of the movie.
yeah, she's the best part of the movie for me.
Mine is Mike
especially
Feist. His work
yeah,
is so good.
him too.
He's
He's really
incredible.
fucking
He would
good.
like
Yeah.
Who was
he
that
lights
again?
up Riff.
Oh yeah, Riff was fucking. Oh my god.
Every time he's on screen, you're just glued to his performance. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the movie is so good, man. Like when you originally thought that the character motivations and characters weren't like that's the best part of it, in my opinion. I like was so glued to the book, and I
Really?
cared so fucking much about it. Yeah, are you kidding me? I cared so
Wow.
much about Maria and um freaking what's her name again?
Tony.
Tony.
Yes, not
And
Tony. Ariana
Anita?
DeBoss character's name. Anita.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anita, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Is this
It's my
the last one
second
that you
best.
is this the last movie of the
Yes.
Oscars that you watched or
Mm-hmm.
okay.
I
Right
also
before
no,
Oscars Day.
I rewatched Coda this month or last month. It's good.
Coda's okay.
it's
It's
good.
good.
It's,
It's this
I don't really
it's
like
this very
it.
very simple movie, but like I get the love behind it because the actors, like all the whole family is so charismatic and they're so
Yeah.
lovable characters.
Yeah.
And Troy
I,
Kotsur is fucking amazing.
yeah, I'm so glad Troy won that fucking statue. He totally deserves it. He's I don't know if I would say he's the heart and soul of that movie, but he plays a big part as to why you care
Definitely,
about the
yeah.
conflict in that family. Yeah.
It's definitely
What
it's really
else?
an easy watch too. And I
Yeah.
rewatched Dune this month
Yes.
also, leading up to the
I
Oscars.
rewatched it too. I don't know how you nominate that movie for so many technical awards, yet you don't nominate the fucking director who put it together.
Exactly,
Mhm.
right?
It's like that's the
Yeah,
whole point of the movie. Everything comes together with the director, the editing, the
Hopefully,
acting, the script writing, the visual effects. It all comes together with Denis. And you know,
yeah.
just fuck him, right? Because he doesn't deserve it.
Hopefully part 2. Or Messiah, if they end up waiting for that.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they say if they make Messiah, it would be like years in advance once
Yeah,
Timothy is like older?
that's true.
Because
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I believe the gap between the end of the first book is kind of like 9 years or so. I might be wrong, but I think that's the gap between
Really?
the. Yeah, I think so.
9
Wow.
years.
Yeah,
Damn,
there's even
man.
there's even like a 6 year gap between part one and part two of the first book. So we'll see how
What?
that works.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's gonna change a
because
lot. Like that changes a lot. Like people are gonna
yeah,
be so fucking confused. Like if it just so
because
opens up with 9 years later.
yeah, because like
This is it's only beginning 9 years later.
yeah, yeah, like for example, like Paul's little sister, which she hasn't been born in in part one of the
Yeah.
movie. Like the second half of the book, she's like I want to say like 5 or 6
Really?
years old, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and she plays a big
What's
part
the
in the
point of
second
that?
part of the book.
Yeah.
You'll see. But yeah,
Why though?
basically that like I wish the Blu-ray had the IMAX fucking
Right? It's so
format
disappointing.
because yeah, because it sounds good. It sounds so good and it looks so good on Blu-ray. I just wish I could see
Exactly.
like the whole thing like as it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
To wrap
that's
up
the last movie.
Oscars, the other one was that I watched for the first time actually was Parallel Mothers. Parallel Mothers.
Oh, yeah.
For Penelope Cruz's performance, and she's fantastic in that. And like
Yeah.
this is my first Pedro Almodovar movie. This is my first one I saw, and
Oh, is it?
I love his direction style, yeah, and the way it's shot, and it's a really good film. I was surprised by it.
Yeah, you should watch it's another movie that he did with Penelope. It's really good. But yeah,
Full
Parallel
Hair.
Mothers. I also
Yeah.
watched it like the day before the Oscars. Fucking Josh, you convinced me to pick Penelope in my bracket.
I was in the hype, and
Over
Yeah,
Ariana?
sadly, no, over
uh,
Chastain for lead
Oh,
yeah,
performance.
she
Jessica
was.
Chastain.
Oh, right. Yeah. She was not supporting. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was leading actress. But
Yeah.
yeah, like that scene, like there's again, we don't really want to spoil it because that movie is still like relatively new. But there's a scene involving her, another person, and a computer that's just like
Oh, it's incredible.
it's so heartbreaking. Like like
Yeah,
the way that Penelope uses her eyes just to convey so many like thoughts and emotions. It's just like everything. Like
exactly.
but yeah, I
What
think that's
else?
the last movie that I've seen regarding the Oscars, at least on
Yeah,
my
it's the last thing
side of
I
things.
watched regarding Oscars. Besides the shorts, I watched a few of the shorts, but we don't really need to talk about them. They're good. Riz Ahmed short is really good. Quiet one. So what next?
Do you wanna talk about real quick Turning Red?
Ooh, yeah, let's do that.
I gotta say first, I really am disappointed in myself when I haven't seen it, but I've been very busy as of late, and I am ashamed, but I will see it because I really want to. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard
We
it's
it's
we won't
me
nothing but
too.
spoil it.
amazing things about it. Yeah,
It's probably top
Um
10 Pixar for me at this point. Maybe even higher.
yeah, I've heard it's like very
I
high up there.
really loved this movie. It's so
it's in a
stylish and unique for Pixar, and I love that it's just they're taking chances again, which is really cool.
yeah, I think
And
this is the
Donishi, the
closest. I think this is the
what were you saying?
closest. I think this is the closest we're gonna get for Pixar to like get into like Studio Ghibli vibes, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
Studio Ghibli or even like
Ooh,
Sony Animation vibes also, like Mitchell's or
you
Spider
think
Verse has those vibes.
you think it has like Studio Ghibli vibes, like meaning storytelling or like animation wise, or
All of
both?
it, kinda, in
Interesting.
a
Yeah,
sense.
the
Hmm,
vibes too.
Just
interesting.
like even the way that it uses like nature to like convey like a very human
Ooh, yeah.
issue, quote unquote issue. It's just very well done. I still
Mhm.
find that this movie caused so much outrage across
Right? That
a
was so
certain
stupid.
community. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, Nemo getting his mom murdered in the first 5 minutes is okay, but a girl getting her
But
period for the first
periods,
time,
no.
no.
No, no, yeah, it's so stupid.
How dare you?
But
It's
yeah,
like
like
this is
But
such
yeah,
an important. It's such an. I mean, from what I see, from what I know about the movie, it's such an important thing to show to people of that age. And
yeah, like
if you
it's
don't
I
choose
respect like
to accept that that's a fucking human thing that happens
exactly.
in that part of their life, then you're stupid.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's the film as
Uh,
a whole, like how it like comments on puberty and like growing up and accepting yourself. This is really cool, and the
Yeah,
way like the whole story wraps together, and with the between her May and her mother is absolutely gorgeous. The climax between their relationship, where I don't want to spoil it, but like you know what scene I'm talking about, Edgar, where she
yeah, yeah,
finds,
yeah.
yeah, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, the
yeah.
Godzilla type of ending, basically the climax.
Yeah,
Um,
kaiju. It's really cool.
but yeah, also I mean, Pixar is kind of known for this because most of their animated movies have this in common. But like the supporting cast in this movie, they're so charming and they're so likable and they feel so real, like
Yeah,
like almost like if you could like meet one of these people like in high school or college or whatever you're at work or something like that. It's just it's very real and it's just very like funny. Like I honestly don't know, maybe the last time that I've laughed like in a Pixar movie, like actually like genuinely like
yeah,
laughed.
exactly. It's probably one of the funniest Pixar movies.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Hmm.
her friend
Because
group is
definitely,
so good. Like that whole relationship is amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are the
I have
chances this
watched the first
movie?
5 minutes of it. It's so good just from the opening. So fucking good.
You watched the five, but you decided not to watch the other 85 minutes.
No, no. I just watched it because my cousin was playing it and then we had to go and we were planning on watching the whole movie, but we did it.
Hmm. I
Also,
really hope.
Promise you.
Go
you go,
ahead.
Edgar. You go.
Oh,
You go. You
um,
go.
I was just gonna say like I really hope this movie has like a Raya type of like following where it goes all the way to theaters and it gets animated,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
because it really does deserve like the attention. And even though I love that movie, like a movie like Encanto, it kind of pains me that I haven't really seen the same amount of hype around Turning Red as
Exactly. Yeah.
Encanto received. Um,
And
Kind of hope
personally, I
that
think Turning
changes.
Red is like way more unique than Encanto, and it
Yeah,
should be
Mhm.
like praised
um,
more. Because
yeah,
Encanto is great, but
but
it's just a Disney movie. Like it does things differently, of course, but like I'm saying as a whole, like Turning Red as far as like vibes and animation, is this like a new step for Pixar and my
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very revolutionary.
But go ahead and talk about your point, Josh, which I'm pretty sure what it was, and it's the score, huh?
Oh yeah, Ludwig Göransson's score is probably no, it's my number 2 score of the year so far because of another film we'll talk about later. But it's
Really,
it's so it's so interesting how you could like this man to go from Creed to Black Panther to Mando, then to this movie,
Tenet.
which is totally like to Tenet to this movie, which is
Tenet.
totally unique as far as sounds and
His
like styles, as far as
fucking
his other stuff.
range,
His range
range.
is incredible, and like yes, I'm saying it. I think the store is better than the Batman store. I know.
Okay, no, okay. So this is where we end
Yeah.
this episode, and
It's
we'll
they're
come right
very
back to you.
close, but I
Starts
think I
fucking
prefer
beating up
this one more.
Josh.
I'm
It
honestly
just stuck
like
with me more.
I don't agree with you, but the fact that we've seen so many good original scores just in this month, like between the Batman, Turning Red, and the other movie we're gonna talk
Exactly.
about in a bit, it's just
This
such
year
a
so
great start
far
for a
has
year.
been so good for scores too. And another movie we'll talk about later has a fucking banner of a score.
Yeah. I'm gonna plug my computer real quick to charge it.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about this film. The first Dispatch I rewatched this month. It's
I thought you said the first
let's
dispatch. I was like, what the fuck?
the French Dispatch. Yes, it's
The
Wes
first
Anderson
dispatch.
at the most Wes Anderson he's ever been at, but I think it's one of his best films, and it just gets that tone around that he loves to do of like somber yet wacky yet quirky yet beautiful,
And perhaps even a
and
little bit goofy too.
perhaps a little bit wacky even.
Such a silly sausage.
But yeah, it's just this movie is a whole ass vibe, and I love everything about it. And it has some of the best production design and cinematography I've ever seen. And I just love this movie. I know
Yeah.
Mhm.
it got like some
Yeah.
lukewarm, or it was like people thought it was alright, but I think it's one of his best so
Production
far.
design, it's got to be like top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just my only real problem with that movie is that not all of the short stories within the larger scope are very interesting. The one that I kind of care the most about was the Jeffrey Reed one, which
yeah,
was the
that's
last
probably
one, right?
the last one. I think I
Which
prefer
that tracking shot is
yeah, that tracking shot is so good.
A lot of
But
tracking shots in it.
yeah, there's a lot of good shots in that one. But I
Mm.
think I prefer Benicio del Toro's story more about the painter. It's so good. I love it. I love it.
yeah. I mean, I get it.
Leah
It's
Sado is great in it too.
it's probably the most stylish story out of the three in that movie, maybe.
Yeah,
Sure, the Jeffrey Wright one has the animated section, but I will still give it to the Benicio one.
definitely. Yeah. Okay, so what else?
What else? Let me check.
I mean, I did watch a few Denis Villeneuve movies. Rewatch them.
Oh, go
Denis
for it.
Villeneuve.
Dennis
Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve. Dining. My bad.
Which ones do you
Denis.
watch?
Prisoners and Arrival. Acting wise, Prisoners is the best, but Arrival is my personal favorite besides Blade Runner 2049.
Nice. Did
All
you
right.
catch anything new on these
Just
rewatches?
it's this pretty much the same. They're fucking perfect movies. Sustainments
Yeah.
is like crazy. It's crazy how like perfect Arrival is, honestly. it's so emotional, and it really has interstellar vibes. I realized how much interstellar vibes it has, like this impossible mission kind of thing, and it's like no one believes in this one person, and they somehow accomplish it at the end.
Yeah.
And Prisoners is
Um,
just the best acting of I think I'll ever see ever. It's just the best.
did Hugh Jackman get an Oscar nomination for that or no?
No, I think that film was like snubbed hard. I think it got
Because
anything, honestly.
yeah, because I feel that honestly, I feel his best performance of his career, like the way that he
Logan.
just goes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They
I
do
don't,
like hand in hand, I think.
yeah,
But yeah, they're both really
but
good.
yeah, like that bathroom scene with Paul Dano is just like fucking like edge of your seat type of shit.
Yep,
It's really good.
it is. It's perfect. Paul Dano is such a genius.
And again, spoilers, I guess, for the movie, but I mean, like what 7, 9 years since it came out. Doesn't it end with like Hugh Jackman um, getting like like
Trapped in a hole.
yeah, trapped
Yeah,
in
the
a hole,
hole, and
like
then
alive.
she
Yeah.
shoots him in the hole. Yeah, yeah.
Then I think the last shot is like Jake Gyllenhaal's character, like hearing him or something. I don't watch
Yeah,
this film a
yeah.
while
Yeah.
ago.
He's pretty much hearing him, and he just been shot in the leg, and he just crawls into the hole and just screwed me.
Yeah, but
Did
the only
did the
Oscar I got was for Deakins for cinematography, which is like, yeah,
Hmm
I
yeah
should have done more.
I think Deacon's cinematography, so like Sicario for Denis movies is his best
Sicario is my
out of those
personal
two.
favorite, Denis. I
Yeah.
think after Dune.
Just because of the fucking
bit.
yeah, I understand that. The fucking cinematography in that movie is
Oh
perfect. Like it's like
Yeah.
I just like that shot of them, the troops and walking in the silhouettes. It's like one of my favorite
yeah, it's
things
so
ever made.
good.
Ever. Like it's just like perfect.
yeah
And Emily
that dinner
Blunt
love
scene
that
in
movie.
Sicario.
Fantastic. Oh yeah,
Did Benicio get nominated? I don't think so either, huh?
I think he
he
did.
got
Didn't he get nominated?
he
did.
won for Sicario, I think, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Or no, he
Benicio.
won for Blade Runner.
No, I mean
Pretty
Benicio
sure.
del Toro for Sicario.
Oh no,
like
I don't
best.
think so.
I still think it's between Sicario, Arrival, and Doom for me for my favorite of Denis.
Yeah,
I might still get the edge to Sicario just because like the characters in that movie are so interesting, especially the supporting characters like Josh Brolin's character, Benicio's, even some of the other soldiers, the new Kaluuya, all of them are incredible, and that's
The
just
supporting
another
cast is fantastic.
yeah, and that's another movie where what's his face, the fucking Punisher,
John Bernthal has a great
John
like
Bernthal.
Yeah,
3-minute
Oh yeah, I
scene.
forgot that.
He's
I
like
forgot that
so
he was
good
in
in
it
it.
for like 2 minutes with Emily Blunt. I
Yeah,
almost
but
stole
he's
the
great
whole
in those
movie.
10
Almost.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's honestly like my favorite Emily Blunt movie. It kind of has to be. I think it is
really.
actually. It's hard to say. It's like she's so good in it, but
Mine
I
is
mean,
Mary Poppins Returns.
yeah, I knew you were gonna say
I
that.
love that movie.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I think mine would be probably the first A Quiet Place. She's just
Oh yeah,
fucking incredible.
she's probably my favorite actress. Honestly, she's does not miss. Unless it's
Yeah.
was it Girl on the Train? I never saw that, but
Girl on
The
the
Girl on the
Train,
Train.
yeah.
That one, I didn't really like that movie that much.
yeah,
It was just
It was
trying to be
okay.
got
Gone
bad
Girl.
reviews.
It
Really?
was tried. It tried. I mean, even Looper was amazing. She was amazing. In
Oh
Looper.
yeah, Lucia's so good in Looper.
So yeah, it would be like Edge of Tomorrow would be up there as well. So like, there's so fuck. She's the best. She's the fucking goat.
Man, we could have had her as our Black Widow.
Was she like in contention for that role?
Yeah, she was like
Yeah,
like their. I think they
famously
were.
was.
Yeah, I think it was their first pick, and then they went Scario. I think.
Wow, that would have been so much
Yeah.
better.
She's like
But
objectively
she wouldn't have
more
been able to
attractive.
do like Sicario or anything else. So
Yeah.
I don't think
So
that
it
would
panned out for
trade.
the better, I guess.
Yeah.
What other movie have I seen this
I
month?
rewatched. I don't know if have you guys seen or heard this? It's a special comedy special on Netflix. John Mulaney and the Sasquatch Bunch.
I
Yes,
haven't seen it.
I've heard of it, but not
It's
seen it.
his take on like the children's TV show or TV special. It's
Mhm.
very like there's a lot of different sketches in it, and it's like a musical also, and there's this group of kids he's doing it with. It's such a smart parody of like children's shows like Barney or like all of these shows that we remember growing up and stuff. It's so self-aware, but also really smart and treats kids as actual human beings and not like as kids, like others, like the
Mhm.
recent, like newer stuff does. They just treat them like they're fucking stupid. Not this. This like no kids are actually smart, and it's really cool and beautiful, honestly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's really
I
fucking
don't really.
funny too.
Yeah. I don't really watch comedy specials anymore. I think one of the last ones that I saw was actually with Sean. The Aziz
Right.
Ansari one. A couple
Yeah.
years ago.
I wouldn't say this is really
Yeah.
a comedy special. It's put on the same as like Inside, like Bo Burnham's Inside, where it's more of like a
Mm.
film than a special. Honestly, I would
Interesting.
recommend it for sure. Edgar, you'd probably
Is it
love it.
Netflix?
It's Netflix, yeah.
Okay, nice. I will probably add it to the list.
It's the meme with
Um,
Jake Gyllenhaal and like the Cyberlone outfit and like all the lights is him going crazy. He's from that.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
S-
it's really good.
Sticking with Netflix, did anybody else watch that Ryan Reynolds movie, The Adam Project?
Yeah.
Adam
It was
Project.
so
It was
it was
alright.
so mid, but I
I
enjoyed
thought there was some fun in
I
it.
enjoyed a little bit of it.
I didn't hate.
There was some fun of it. There was some fun in it.
I
But
like that Ryan Reynolds was kind of being a different Ryan Reynolds, like kind of,
yeah,
which is cool.
that's what I was gonna
Half and
say. He doesn't
half.
feel like the exact
Yeah,
same person. He
and the
always is
kid
every
who
single
like
like
played
even
his younger self is really cool.
I actually
Yeah.
really liked him in Free Guy. Like I liked his character in Free Guy, I guess. But the movie is just
Honestly,
super
I'd
mid.
probably
But
prefer this movie to Free Guy.
yeah, me too, honestly.
It's more different.
Honestly, like for me, like there's this scene in the Adam Project. It's just Ryan Reynolds and fuck, I'm blanking on her name. Jennifer Gardner. In a bar, and they're just talking and just getting to see Ryan actually act again, like
Exactly.
properly act. It was just like so refreshing, and I'm like, bro, like
Yeah.
you're telling me you could be doing this all this time and you're still doing your stick. Um,
The same
Exactly.
shit over and
yeah,
over and over and over again.
probably the best scene in that movie, that bar scene is
Oh,
probably
I'd say it's really like emotionally powerful.
yeah, like the
For
whole
for
thing
that
about like
movie, like
Yeah,
you
it was
wouldn't
pretty good.
be
yeah,
it's surprising.
The words of Evan.
isn't
It's good.
it's good. um Isn't the director doing Deadpool?
He's
The new
doing Deadpool
Deadpool.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Levy.
We'll see. We'll see how that pans
We'll
out.
see. We'll see. So not to
But
start some discourse, but I also rewatched The Rise of Skywalker this month. I don't want to talk much about it, but like this movie is fun. It's does a lot of fucking horrible shit, but I think it's still fun.
It's admitting it.
It's what?
It's got a lot of horrible shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
But I also
for
watched.
example,
Wait, what were you saying?
no, I was just gonna say how I also rewatched that movie this month because I was watching
You did.
Nathan's, like the guy's stream over there at
Hyperspace
My
Hype.
Cup
Go
of
check them out
Tea.
on YouTube.
Yeah. I was watching their like commentary, and one of the things that they were saying, like for example, Evan, which is one of their co-hosts, how that fight scene between Kylo and Rey, in between like his room and what's the planet, like the
Tajimi.
Agent
Ye-
whatever that is, yeah.
What?
anyway,
Uncharted plot?
anyway,
John
Anyway,
No,
whatever planet.
did you mean this? No planet, Sean.
Yeah. Whatever planet it
Oh
was.
right, yeah. Whatever.
Like the editing and the choreography in that scene is pretty cool. It's just
I love
like
that scene.
if they were given better dialogue in that during that sequence, it
Yeah.
would just play off so much better and so
Definitely.
much different. Like if they were actually talking about like their conflict between Kylo and Rey instead of Kylo just saying like, "Ooh, I know who you are," blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like that's
Yeah,
not.
definitely.
We don't give a shit. But
But I
yeah,
will say, like, good or bad, this movie not being your thing, at least it gave us J.J. Abrams' best thing he's ever made, Babu Frick. One of the best
That
characters
is
in
true.
cinema.
That is true.
I
that is
love
true.
that
He made
little
the movie
fucker
for
so
me.
much.
Didn't
I
didn't he
also
kill him or something? And Spielberg like told him to like bring him back like before the movie came out.
Really?
Fuck.
Spielberg watched it
That was
and he just
wait, was that?
that's all he had to say. I love that.
Yeah.
He didn't get back. He was like, "Don't kill
Um,
the alien, but kill the solo guy. Nobody cares."
I also watched the making of documentary to go along with it, and I think it's really good. It's not as in depth as the director and the Jedi from Last Jedi, but I still think
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
such a
good.
good
Like
documentary.
yeah, I think this one is really good because it shows like just how like much care went into the movie that we like all are iffy on. But like all the sets that they made for this movie are so impressive. Like the Star Destroyer set that Finn and Jonna
Yeah, they all got
do the
captured on.
horses on, that's all practical. The sand pit from
Yeah.
Jordan is all practical, like the one that they fall through.
Mhm.
It's just really impressive how well this movie was made.
Yeah.
At least from like
Um.
this standpoint.
Yeah. Haven't you been watching the Clone Wars too?
Yeah, let me go off on that little rant. Because of Celebration,
Wait.
I'm starting to I've decided I want to rewatch everything in Star Wars canon right now. So I'm going through that and I'm gonna start replaying stuff too. So I watched Phantom Menace. I watched the beginning, which is the documentary that goes along with Phantom Menace for the first time actually, and that's really good documentary.
You've never seen that before?
No, that was my first time.
That's the best documentary of anything Star Wars related.
Yeah, it's crazy how like in depth it is for only being like an hour long.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Then I also watched Attack of the Clones, which I think is probably my favorite prequels movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is it interesting?
Yeah.
Not the.
It's just so fun.
You edgy bastard! How dare you?
You don't support the Revenge of the Sith is underrated daily daily cloud tweet.
Did you know?
The
Did you know
Trevor
that's
the
an underrated
Fifth
movie?
movement.
You're talking about it. Welcome back to Galaxy United. This is your co-host.
People who are watching it have no idea what we're talking about,
I have
but
no idea what we're
we
talking
know
about.
that's
Say
what
that way.
it
Well,
matters.
I'm pretty sure every man, woman, and child on this earth knows who DJ Trell is. So you're wrong. You're wrong.
Long live DJ Troll. But yeah,
Somehow
I've been
DJ
through
Trell returned.
through the Star Wars rewatch replay. And in anticipation for Celebration next month, which is crazy that we'd say next month now.
It's
That's
next
awesome.
month now. It's next month.
I'm currently in the
Obi-Wan,
middle of
let's go.
rewatching. Yeah, Obi-Wan, so excited. I'm currently in the middle of rewatching Clone Wars though, and just before we started this, I was rewatching the Droids arc with Meever Gaston. It's so
my
good.
Colonel. That's my Colonel right there.
Yeah, it was literally like at the moment where they find Rhaegar, which is a cool moment. And I rewatched the Youngling arc today, which is probably my favorite arc in Clone Wars, which is the Gathering. Like that single episode is so fucking good, and is everything I love.
There's a lot. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, how the Star Wars explores the Force in that episode. It's so good.
Yeah.
And Gunji,
also,
the best Jedi.
the best, but he's dead. So
No, he's not. Get the fuck out of here. He's John. No, how dare you say that?
real quick,
John G
but,
lives.
I just want to say one thing.
It's
real
not a
quick.
Soto lives
Fucking-
anymore. It's hashtag John G lives.
It's funny, right? Because it's his favorite. So George Lucas' favorite thing about all of the Clone Wars is that droid arc, because he thought it feels
Yeah.
like the limbo feeling of it makes it feel like THX, and it kind of has those vibes. And that happens to be one of the more hated ones. So I just
I
love that
love it.
irony. I
It's
love
so
that shit.
fun.
I love that he loves what all the people who claim to love him, love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks, all those people.
Yep.
But yeah, I just do updates as I go on with this rewatch. So
Mhm.
once we do April, I'll probably have a lot of updates for that because I'm gonna be rewatching a lot of the movies during next month, hopefully. And also decided to replay Fallen Order, which I haven't done
That's
yet.
what I'm doing right
Pretty
now.
cool.
That is what
Yeah.
I'm doing as we
Do
speak.
you have the PS5 update by any chance?
I just downloaded it today. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's so good on it. Looks so good on it.
Yeah. I've been trying to rewatch the Clone Wars for like the longest time, like
It's a
since
lot to
last
get
year.
through.
Yeah, it's a lot to get through. I honestly don't know which
I don't
season
know,
I'm at,
man.
but
I'm
I
just
can
doing
like the
selective
thing about that
arts.
show is I can put on one
I'm-
episode and I'll just be entranced in it and I'll just be so immersed to the point where I feel like I have to finish the whole thing. That's just me though. I love it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I just really can't wait to finish it so I can get into the best Star Wars show, which is Rebels.
Best thing in
Um,
Star Wars.
Story
My favorite
perspective,
thing.
yeah, it is the best. From a story perspective, it's the best one. Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to rewatch that too. But
Yeah, but Fallen Order, I've been replaying the fuck out of that, and Lego Star Wars comes out
oh,
tomorrow,
we're so close. I pre-ordered it today.
and we can all
I'm so
play it.
excited.
Yeah, me too. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition I
Tomorrow
think.
night.
Yeah.
What's drip?
oh shit!
They
It's,
moved
it's
a whole.
tomorrow,
They moved
huh?
it a whole last day.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, they moved it a whole last day.
I will have to pre-order that shit before it's too late.
Get that
They
Obi-Wan
said-
skin.
Yeah, they said we delayed it so long. We're gonna push it a day forward
Nice.
because it is the most delayed game in history now. I think
Is
for the
it?
past 3 years.
It's not,
Yeah, it's got to be
but
like
sure.
it's got to be no. In terms of when it was announced and at a E3, and then it constantly having to, like it was so. What I'm saying is it was so close to coming out within a month's time.
I mean,
and then it was
Cyberpunk was like announced.
delayed. Yeah, but that didn't.
It was
Right,
announced in
right, right.
2013 and it didn't come out until like 2020.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean.
No, I get what you're saying though. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's definitely one of the more notorious ones for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel
But-
real that it's only coming out now.
Shall we move on to something else?
Yeah, let's move away from Star Wars.
Yeah, I did a double
Yeah.
feature this month,
Yeah?
both at the movie theaters. Very weird fucking choice of movies for me to do a double feature on. But,
I did an interesting one also, so
yeah.
let's do yours first.
The first movie that I watched back in March 17, on that day, was the new Michael Bay movie Ambulance,
Interesting.
or how they're calling it Ambulance. Yeah, that movie. I honestly can't wait for people to watch that movie because I know some people are just gonna love it and others are just gonna fucking hate it, and it's gonna be hilarious trying to see people.
It comes out
um,
this week, right? Or this weekend?
Yeah, yeah, I watched it at a special early screening.
Yeah.
It's a very simple movie, but nothing's nothing is really simple with Michael Bay, so it's very jarring at times. But at least Jake Gyllenhaal is in it, gluing
Yeah,
all
I'm
of that
excited
mess.
for him,
At
honestly.
least he's in it.
I'm also very interested to learn which scenes he directed from that movie because apparently he directed a few sequences
Interesting.
in that movie. So I would love to learn which ones exactly because there's actually a pretty emotional moments in the movie, and I'm pretty sure that's not Michael Bay's doing. um, but yeah. Also, what else about that movie? The action scenes, they're fine. They're gonna give you a headache most likely, just because of the
Yeah.
camera work. There's some very
All shaky.
new, not just shaky. There's some very weird like drone shots in that movie.
Yeah, you told me
Like
about this.
like for example, let's say this is a fucking drone, right? And it's going through a building like this, and then it turns like this, and then it goes down, and it's very, it's it's confusing. It's like, what's the point of the shot? Like going
Yeah.
all the way up to the building, turning back down, and then going back to the action of the people in the ground. And there's a lot of stuff during the car chase sequences. But I mean, this isn't. It's not saying much. It might be his best movie since maybe Pain and
Really?
Gain.
That's not saying much
Maybe,
though. Yeah.
yeah, that's not saying much. That's what I'm saying. But at least it's entertaining for to see Jake Gyllenhaal scream at people for 2 hours. So there's
Yeah.
that. But that was the first movie that I watched that day in March. The other one that I watched on the same day was A24's X, which I
Ooh, let's
believe
talk
you've
about
seen too.
that.
Mm,
I've seen it. Yeah.
That's another movie. I don't know if you could really like talk spoilers in it, but
I don't want to spoil it.
mm,
It hasn't been out for that
yeah, I don't.
long.
Yeah, yeah, I won't spoil it. But like, even from the opening scene of the movie, like, I hate when movies begin with the end. They show you like
I hate that
what's
shit
the
too.
yeah. I hate the when they do that. Like they show you the end point of the story, but just the way that it does it in this movie, it shows you where you're gonna end up at, but not necessarily. It I don't know how to explain it, but I think it might be one of the best like uses of that like story tools. Um, and the
Yeah,
way the
definitely.
movie, yeah, and the way, because like the opening scene, like it makes you like remember how certain bodies are placed at the by the end of the movies,
Yeah.
and you're just trying like waiting how it's gonna happen. And it's not done in an annoying way. It's done in a very like clever, engaging way.
Mm-hmm.
um but I just really like, I love that movie. Everybody in that movie is fucking great. I forgot the name of the lead. What's her name?
Mia Goth.
Mia Goth. I've
She's
heard
also
she's
great
been
in
like in a lot.
Suspiria.
Oh yeah, and Suspiria. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She was also in Emma, I believe.
Yep, she was great in Emma.
Yeah, I hope her career after this like goes off the charts because she's incredible in this movie.
Yeah.
Um, and there's some really creepy shit in this movie. The whole thing about like making a porno in a farm, and it leads to like everybody basically getting murdered because of it.
It's a very horny movie too, as you'd
Yeah,
expect. But even
it's a
more
very
horny than I
horny.
was thinking. Going in.
Yeah. All ages, people. Uh, um, but like, I feel like the horror slasher subgenre gets a lot of slack just because all of the movies feel and look the same. But and this movie kind of falls into that category. But like the themes of the movie of the power of beauty and losing that
Yeah.
power eventually as you grow older, like it's very like well integrated into the overall story and the actual like kills in the movie. And they're very creative, and Jenna Ortega again, incredible. There's a
She's
very
like the scream queen of this decade so far.
yeah,
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 Between
there's
right
a
now, as
Scream
of
or
right
this
now,
year
pretty much.
even, like between this and Scream.
yeah. I feel like she's been in other horror movies, but I'm forgetting which ones.
Yeah, I'm blanking on it right now.
What was she? Wait, she was in Iron Man 3?
She was, yeah.
Really?
She was one of those little girls. I remember that now. Yeah.
That's who? I don't remember that.
I
Anyway,
just saw it, looked it up too.
She was in Insidious 2, The Babysitter from Netflix. Yeah, she's been in a bunch of
I
horror
haven't seen
stuff.
those movies. Are they good?
I like the first one. The second one is pretty bad.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I've always been interested in watching
um,
them.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't. I'm killing myself for leaving the theater because I didn't watch the. I guess there's a
You
post
didn't
credit
watch
scene at
it?
the end of X. I didn't watch it. I don't know what
Oh,
it
it's so
is.
good.
I just
Yeah,
know it teases like it either teases like a sequel or a prequel, and I know the prequel's already been shot,
it's a prequel. Yeah, it
but
teases the
y-
prequel that's coming out.
oh,
It's
okay,
really
nice.
good. It looks
Is
really cool.
Does it imply like what the prequel is about like the previous
Yeah,
people that have gone to the farm? Okay,
yeah. Do you want me to spoil
okay.
it for you right now?
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'll watch it
Okay,
eventually.
it's
But
cool.
yeah, is there anything else you want to say about?
Yeah, it's a really fun movie. It's a really fun horror movie. Really fun slasher, and some of the camera work is really cool. And the way it builds suspense is like it's like a mixture of elevated horror and like B movie slasher. It's really cool how they mix those two like subgenres together.
Yeah,
And all the
um,
performances are great.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It
it's
it almost
fun.
reminds me. It almost reminds me like a Scream type of vibe, like a movie about making fun of movies, but it loves like filmmaking, like a type of sort of
Definitely.
like vibe. It's really fun.
Honestly, like
Um,
I think this prequels would be even better based on that trailer.
really? Oh, it's a
I'm
trailer
excited for
now.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like a full
Interesting.
trailer. Yeah, it's really
Somebody
cool.
needs to leak that shit. I need to watch. But yeah,
And
that's
so the transition from there, Ets was also part of my double feature. The other part,
mhm.
unfortunately, the Lost City.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about that. This movie is not good. Just
No,
put it
it's
out
not.
there. I didn't love it.
I will
It's just
say,
that typical adventure comedy schlock that makes you like depressed that this is the state of movies are in right now, where this just keeps
mhm,
happening. Channing
This is the
Tatum's
same
fun in
thing.
it, but I don't think he saves this movie. I was bored throughout. And that's like,
yeah,
yeah, I think Jonah Cruz is better, honestly. I think
yeah. I
because I
feel,
like Emily Blunt more. So
yeah, I feel like this movie feels like somebody snuck a Netflix movie into the movie theaters. It
exactly,
feels very
yeah.
like it feels like it was generated by a
Damn.
computer.
That sucks to hear. Like the fact that you
It's
can see a
basically
Netflix
like
fucking movie in the theater.
almost exactly like Jonah Cruz. Even like the ending is so similar.
Jungle
Dude,
But
Jungle
Cruise. Oh
Cruise
yeah,
is
yeah,
a
yeah,
very mid movie, but I still had some charm
it
to
was
it, I
fun.
guess.
Yeah, Emily Blunt straight.
I
But
will
yeah, this
say,
movie wasn't not great.
But that's the state of
yeah,
cinema right now. Yes.
yeah. There's a bit that I thought was like sort of funny, but I saw it a mile away regarding Brad Pitt
Oh yeah,
cameo
the thing that
role, whatever
Preston
you want to call
thought was
it,
like
that
the
he was
biggest
dying.
moment.
Yeah, I was like, really? You didn't see that coming? Um, especially because of the marketing. Like, he's not in any other part of the marketing of that movie other than in the scene that we're showing. So you just know,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
kind of get an idea of where he's gonna end up in. But yeah, forgettable movie.
Dude,
Very
Preston, just
forgettable.
like me.
He's just like
Preston,
me.
Preston, me.
I think we should talk about two other movies that I think we've both seen at least. I don't know if Sean has seen either of these. Deep Water.
I've seen Deep
Let's talk about Deepwater.
Have you seen it, Sean?
Deepwater Horizon.
No, with
That's the one I'm talking about.
no with Ben Affleck
No,
and Ana de Armas,
I know. I heard some really mixed
the
things,
erotic thriller.
The erotic
but
thriller.
I will only see it for Ana de Armas.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's worth it
honestly,
watching it for her. Let's be honest.
she's the reason to watch this movie. To be honest,
When she pulls his
Mhm.
fucking pube out of her mouth, oh man,
yeah.
What?
Yup.
I'll be right back.
See, that movie's
but
a
yeah,
treat
there.
for bisexuals. Let me
Mommy.
put that there. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's it's the perfect. I don't know if there's gonna be any movie like this year, but it's like the perfect. So bad, it's good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A good watch.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
shot where it cuts to Ben Affleck is riding on the bike.
I honestly can't think about this movie without laughing. I'm just thinking about there's this.
Then
I guess it's a
fucking Jada
joke.
Belordi just comes in out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Nate from Euphoria.
yeah. Then there's this other older character about talking about shit about autocorrect on his phone. It's a treat. It's a masterpiece.
That whole third act chase is amazing.
It's a
Yeah,
chase in the end.
It was a chase sequence. Yeah.
Now I gotta see it.
it's
What
a
else?
it's a bike
What
against a
else does
car
this movie have?
chase.
It's got everything. This movie has
Also, this
everything you
this
need to
movie
watch.
blessed us with the poster that's in the thumbnail for this video, where it's just a text.
It's just text
conversation.
messages. Yeah.
This isn't a
Oh
game,
my
Melinda.
god. That's a real line in the movie?
No,
Like
it's
I
a
don't
actual
know.
poster.
screenwriters wrote that and thought it was a good idea?
There's so many like bizarre moments in that movie, like the snail joke about them being poisonous. Like, it's just I don't know. And then the little girl, like I kind of love and hate whenever they write a child character that doesn't act like a kid. It acts like a fucking senior person, and it's fucking hilarious in this movie. Like when she's throwing the suitcase on the pool, I'm just like, yes, go for it.
Yeah, that movie's a fun train wreck.
Honestly,
Um,
probably the second like most fun movie I've seen this month. Not intentionally,
yeah.
but yeah.
Is it like
I want to talk
what's the
about.
premise of the film? I don't really even understand it, to be honest.
It's a erotic thriller. She's
You want me to give
basically like you
like the
give a
synopsis of the
little
movie?
synopsis. Yeah.
So basically, Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, they're married in the movie, but they have an open relationship where Ana de Armas' character is able to like date other people, and even though Ben Affleck is apparently okay with it, he's not really okay with it, which makes for very funny subplots in the movie. And it kind of becomes this like murder mystery, and it's just hilarious. Um, but yeah, that's basically what it is.
Right. I will probably never see that.
Yeah, it's worth watching for a few moments, but I would say skip
Just
it.
for the Ana de Armas movies.
Yeah, definitely. I want to talk
there-
about. What was that?
No, I was gonna say what else do you have on your list?
I want to talk about. I don't know if you've seen this movie, Edgar. The Outfit, starring Mark Rylance and Zoe Deutsch.
I was gonna try to watch it yesterday or today, but they stopped playing at my local movie theaters, and they're
Really?
not playing it anywhere.
That's a
Yeah,
shame.
which is kind of a bummer because I really wanted to watch it and I've heard really good things about it. But, I know
Yeah,
it's
it's.
like a whodunit,
I
which sounds very interesting, but
yeah, exactly.
I'll
So
probably
like,
have to. I'll probably just have to wait until digital or Blu-ray release.
yeah. So my whole story with this movie is I worked at a movie theater and I randomly saw this poster that was like a really cool teaser poster, and I was like, "What is this movie?" And I was like, "Mark Rylance, Zoe Deutsch, Dylan O'Brien." Wait, what? I've never heard of this movie. Then like cut to 2 months later when it comes out again. I've heard nothing about this movie. I go and see it just out of a whim, and it's really really good. Surprisingly, it's a good classic whodunit crime thriller where it's like a one location movie. It's all like in the same location, but it's written really well. It's like written as a play, kind of. It like kind of plays out as a play. But Mark Rylance is like he's always good, but he's really good in this movie. And Zoe Deutsch is great as always. I forgot his name. Johnny Flynn, I think, is in this movie. He's good. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
the cinematography is really good. And another score that I love is Alexander Desplat did the score for this movie, and it's been growing on
Mm,
me. It's really, really good.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
yeah.
he doesn't miss at all.
The costume design in this movie looks really fucking like top notch.
Yeah, it's like
Like I
all the
haven't seen it, but it
crafts
looks
are
good.
great. It's like really well
Yeah.
crafted. But yeah, go watch this movie if it's still playing near you, because I've heard
It's
no one else
better
talk about
than
it.
is he better here than Don't Look Up?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's more
Anything is better than
traditional Mark
Batman.
Rylance, and not like Ready Player One or Don't Look Up from Mark Rylance. But
My boy.
but yeah, this movie is a fun surprise, and it's a really, really good watch. So if it's still playing near you, go check it out.
Hmm. I have 3 other movies left on my list. I'm gonna talk about the first one. It's on Netflix.
Let's
It's
save the
called
bid one to end it on, Edgar. You know what we're talking about. The bid one. Let's end on that.
Morbius.
Oh,
That's my
No,
last one
not
of the
Morbius.
month. No,
honestly,
I was gonna say Windfall on Netflix, but go ahead,
Windfall,
Sean.
yeah. Have you heard of this
Go
movie,
off,
Sean?
Sean.
no, wait. Oh, what were you saying?
Have you seen
Oh,
Windfall on
no,
Netflix?
I have not.
Do you know what this movie is?
Yes, I've heard of it.
It's Jesse Plemons, Jason Segel, and what's her name? Lily
Fucking Lily
Collins, right?
Collins. Lily Collins. Yeah,
Yeah. Edgar, talk about
it's
it.
like really bad. I've heard.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just
I
it
quite
kind of
liked
falls
it.
apart. Yeah, it kind of falls apart in third act, but basically it's about a man breaking into like a tech billionaire's empty vacation home, trying to like steal money or whatever. But like things kind of go sideways when the tech billionaire, which is played by Jesse Plemons, and his wife or about to be wife, I don't remember, when they arrive back to the house, like very suddenly, um and what's his name, Jason Segel's character, he's still like in the house
Yeah.
trying to steal like
Yeah.
money or whatever. It's a really fun one location thriller for the first 2/3 of the movie, I would say. I just like
It goes
that.
way too wild in the third act.
Yeah, yeah, and not only that, but like I also the pacing in that movie is pretty like inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like moving like really fast, and then other parts is moving way too slow. Um, but Jesse Plemons, like my God, like that
He
guy
does
can
not
do
do
comedy.
wrong. Right? He's
Uh,
so good in this movie.
and again, it's another character where he's like a complete fucking douchebag, but somehow you're not necessarily rooting for him, but like you just listen to that
You
man
care
talk
for
because
him.
yeah, and you just want to hear him talk because the things that are coming out of his mouth and the way that Jesse Plemons delivers those lines, it's just incredible. And also, what's her face? Lily Collins? Is it Lily
Yeah.
Collins?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's her
Um,
face? She's amazing.
She's great,
I
yeah.
the thing about her is that I always confuse her for some reason with Rooney Mara. I don't know why.
Really.
They kind of look
They look
like they kind of
similar,
look.
yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Um, she's great in the movie. Her relationship, the relationship that she develops with Jason Segel's character is, I feel like it could have been like more of like the heart of the movie, but again, the third act kind of just like throws
It's
the
just
away
like
for shock value.
you will not see the third act of this movie come in. At least I didn't. Like it was wild, but it definitely
Yeah.
falls apart.
Mm-hmm. It kind of tries to do the like that like ending where like that kind of like Gone Girl ending where
Girl boss ending.
yeah, the girl boss ending, which I mean it's fine, but I don't think this movie really was like
They
going
didn't
for
need
that in the
it, yeah.
beginning. Yeah,
Exactly.
like it didn't really feel earned. Like at least in Gone Girl, it feels earned or like um
I tear a
Knives
lot.
Out even, yeah. But this movie is just like, okay, like I guess we're here, and then it ends out of nowhere, like very
Yeah.
like suddenly. But yeah, that's basically just my thoughts on the movie. I think it's fine. If you have the time, watch it, but don't
I
expect
thought
them like a masterpiece.
it was pretty fun, and it was really well shot too. And the
Yeah.
store, I really love the store, but it's not available on stream anywhere, so I've been able to listen to it. So that's kind of sad. But the store is like really
Hmm.
Hitchcockian. It's like kind of sounds like those old like film stores. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think the standout for me from that movie is the scene like where when they're forced to like sleep like on the separate like
The
little like
campfire.
rooms or whatever, the campfire scene with the Coke or Pepsi, I don't know what it was. Really well done, really a really great scene again between Jason Segel and Lily Collins that you
Yeah.
think it's gonna build to something meaningful, but it really doesn't. But yeah, that's windfall for me. What do you want to talk about first? Because the last two movies that I watched that last month was Everything Everywhere All at Once and Morbius. So
Okay, we'll save those for later. I want to talk about a few things before we get to those. I watched Marvelous Mrs. Maisel season 4 that came out this month.
Ooh,
Um,
it's crazy.
yeah, so it's interesting. I think this season was definitely hindered by the pandemic. Right, it's clearly shows that. But
really
I think it really does some interesting things that changes up the format. And I thought the ending of the season was fucking amazing. And I don't want to spoil it because I don't think you guys have watched it yet.
I've only seen the first two episodes of this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the finale for the season is fantastic and I'm really interested in where they go for the 5th and final season of the show. And this show has been like
Hmm.
one of my favorites of all time, honestly. That season 2 is fucking incredible. Season 1 is incredible. And I just love this show so much. So I was not disappointed, but I like season 4 was a bit weaker in the first half, but I think it makes up for it with the final few episodes. So I definitely
Interesting.
recommend still. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way for the first half because I really like the first two episodes, but I'm not necessarily gripped in the story that's
Exactly. Like you're not
currently.
itching to get back to it like previous seasons.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody's still great at the show. Everybody brings
Exactly.
like
The
I
humor
still
is
think that
amazing. The
show,
cast is all
yeah,
incredible.
it probably has the best fast paced like type of humor like in any movie or
Yeah.
TV show that I've seen in recent years.
It's honestly
It
some of my
does
favorite
the
cinematography, like on TV, like of all time. Like some of
yeah.
the shots this show does are so impressive. Like going back to season 2, the when they're in the Catskills during those 2 episodes, the initial dance. Do you remember this, Cedric or Sean? Where they like the dancing, the one shot where they follow her through while she's dancing is so impressive.
What season is
And
this?
season 2,
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember when they're in like a vacation, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
And the
Um,
cinematography is so damn impressive in this series, and it's still that way in season 4. So that part hasn't gotten worse, but it's still a great show. It's this show's worst season is still like better than most shows' best season. That's just how much I love this show.
is it better than Mando?
Obviously,
But speaking of Mando and speaking of bounty hunters, Sean, didn't you get to finally finish season 2 of The Witcher?
Oh my
oh
god,
yeah,
we're gonna go there, okay? So yeah, um, obviously I'm a very big fan of that universe, and I love those games. And I wanted to wait to watch it with Edgar as a first experience, and then when I did, it was worth it because it was fucking amazing. Josh, we'll watch it now, like immediately. Like
I
stop
know it's one
watching
of
it
my
with
blind
what you're watching.
spots. I need to watch it. I started the first episode, but I haven't gone back to it.
Yeah, we made a deal about if I watch a show that he wants me to watch, I'll watch it. He'll watch
Yeah,
The Witcher.
you need
What's
to
the
Um,
watch
show?
it. The
I
Legend
actually,
of Vox Machina on
yeah,
Amazon.
I
Oh my
watched the first
god.
episode of that.
You did?
Is it the first one or the first two? I don't, the last one that I watched is the one where I think the first one. I don't know. The one where they accept like the like the bunny hunt on the dragon or whatever,
Yeah, it's the
and,
first one.
and yeah, and they go to battle and it goes horribly wrong or whatever.
What do you think?
Um, um, I think it's good. I feel like I obviously need to watch like the rest to like
It gets way
fully.
better as the season
Yeah,
goes on.
yeah. I just don't really care about the members of the group yet, but I feel like that's gonna change if I watch. Like,
Once you watch, you'll change for sure.
yeah,
And
but
it's
like,
kind of the same thing with Witcher, Josh. Like you're not gonna understand a single portion of that show until
I
you like
know.
actually
It's just a big
play the
commitment. Like
fucking
they're
game.
they're
Maybe.
like really long episodes, and there's like 10 of them each season.
yeah. The thing about
I'll
season
get
one of
to
The
it.
Witcher is that you're really not gonna get what the show is trying to do up until like the penultimate episode, and once you get to that,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
know it's
Really?
bad,
No,
but it
it doesn't
really
make
is.
sense, but that's
No,
kind
yeah,
of the
I'm
only way
into
you can
that
tell a
shit.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like non-linear
But not in the way you
storytelling. Like,
think. Not in the way you think. You think it's gonna be
I'll
like
get to it
like a
eventually.
Moon Knight. It's shit like that. Like it's
Maybe
asking
after
you
this
questions, but it's not.
yeah, after this Star Wars rewatch, I'll finally do Witcher.
We'll hold you accountable to that. We'll be the judge of that, buddy.
yeah, and season two just has like you could just tell they got a much bigger budget because the creature design in season two is just fucking incredible. The monsters, everything. It's
Yeah, season two
incredible.
up in single way.
What was that?
2 steps every single way.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's The
Let
Witcher.
me
There's
see if
another.
what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say another show, two shows actually, that I started to watch again in March, and I'm still like in that process right now. Um, it's like the entirety of Stranger Things on Netflix.
Gearing up
Uh,
for season 4.
Yeah.
yeah, for
Isn't that
season
crazy that
4.
it comes out on the same day as Kenobi?
Kenobi, that's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah. Were you watching that
trying
in
to
our
It's a
hotel?
ballsy move. We're gonna watch it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's one, and the other one, I don't know if either of you have seen the show. I think Josh has, but I don't remember. Barry on HBO.
Yeah,
I love
of course
Barry.
we've seen
I
Barry.
need to
We've all-
rewatch that soon.
I thought everyone in the group chat has seen it.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but Barry's just so
But we
fucking
ain't talking
good.
about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
That
rewatch soon. It starts this month, right? In the month.
Yeah, end of April, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
I really that first season is so fucking good, and it's so easy
Yeah.
to like rewatch that show because it's like what 20-30 minute episodes.
Yeah, they're short
You can binge
episodes.
it like that. Yeah, and they get so much done in so little time. But yeah, probably my favorite thing Bill Hader has done.
Yeah, for sure.
Besides voicing BB-8. But yeah, I can't wait for season 3 of
I'm so excited.
Barry. Yeah, especially how it ends. Doesn't it end with spoilers? I guess. Doesn't it end with Gene finding out about him and
Yeah.
the
Shit.
Janet situation? Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
As far as TV goes, I'm also unless you wanted to say something more about that.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm in the middle of rewatching Atlanta because season 4 or season 3 started a few weeks ago.
It's probably the most
So-
underrated shit I've ever seen.
It's so good. I'm in the middle of season 1 right now, and that show is
Wait.
so good.
It already released season 3.
They're doing it
It's airing?
weekly, but the first 2 episodes are out. Yeah.
Where? Hulu or?
Hulu, yeah.
Hulu.
Oh, okay. I need to get into that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was out. What was that?
Have you watched the previous seasons or?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a real show, but like in the best possible way, and
Yeah.
very just the way that it like explores the whole surreal aspect of like people of color in America is just fucking top notch. It's incredible.
That Teddy
Um,
Perkins episode in season 2 is fucking masterful.
yeah, I know how everybody has their own theories about what the episode means.
Yeah.
Didn't
But yeah,
people
I'm
were
excited
saying?
to. What were saying?
Didn't people were like theorizing it was like a Michael Jackson episode or
That's what
whatever?
I took away from it. I did was
Yeah.
similar to Michael Jackson, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to. I'm rewatching it now. Excited to watch season 3 once I get to it. But yeah, that show's great. Do we want to get to Morbius? I
Fucking
haven't
end
seen
call.
it yet, so this is fully
End
on
of
Edgar.
call. All right. Morbius. Jared Leto, national
I want to
treasure.
see it just because of like, is it really that like the editing specifically? Is it like the worst editing you've ever seen, kind of thing?
I, I don't
Is
know
it
about the
Bohemian
worst.
Rhapsody levels of editing?
I think
It
no,
will.
there's no way because Bohemian Rhapsody got editing and Oscars, so
It won
it
the
has to
editing
be
Oscar for
it,
which is
it
fucking
has to be
crazy.
somehow worse.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, Morbius. I honestly don't think it's as bad. Like
Really?
it's not the antichrist of comic book movies, but
It's not Suicide
man,
Squad.
is it I'll say this, at least Morbius feels like a movie and not a music video.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that.
that's true.
Yeah,
But but it's just a very weird movie because everything like he becomes like the vampire of himself like within the first like 15-20 minutes. And
Really?
yeah,
The
like
first
it happens
act?
very, yeah, it happens very quick. Everything happens very quick. Like
and then
like
they
the
played
movie
Hans Zimmer Dark Knight
yeah. So the
early in the
movie
movie.
opened. So the movie opens with Jared Leto and Matt Smith when they were
Holy shit!
kids, like on an orphanage, and
I saw that
and
part
then it,
because I was at work and I was watching the theater and that part was playing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But it
yeah,
was
and so
them as kids.
yeah. So basically, this I'm just gonna give you a recap of what happens in the first like 15-20 minutes. So it opens with them being as kids. Then Jared Leto is receiving like a Nobel Prize, and then he's doing like
What?
experimental. And then, oh, actually, no. The movie opens with that scene on the trailer where he like cuts his hand in the cave. That's the opening scene of the movie. And then it cuts back to the flashback, and then it goes to the Nobel Prize, and then it goes to him going to like doing an experiment like on national water, so because it wouldn't be illegal for him to do his experiment with vampires there. And then in that scene, and during that sequence in the ship in the boat, he becomes like the vampire, like himself, like Morbius or whatever his fucking
Does
name
he
is.
say Dr. Michael Morbius to meet you?
It was cut from the movie.
Oh,
basically, basically all the funny lines from the trailers, which aren't even that good, they're like intentionally like funny.
Yeah,
Everything is just cut out of the movie,
that's
like
wild.
what
and
intriguing is in the movie? Intriguing.
and
The last line.
and it's probably one of the weirdest movie theater experiences that I've had like in a long time, because I think I tweeted this out, like not a single person reacted to anything that was
Really?
happening on the screen.
Yeah,
There was
I heard it was really awkward.
only one guy laughed at a single joke in the entire like 2 hours. Just and it was a joke about like holy water, using holy water on Jared Leto to see if they could kill him with that or whatever. um Not very good. But yeah, it almost feels like everybody was having like second hand embarrassment watching that movie. And it was surprisingly packed, like
Really?
it was a pretty, yeah, it was a pretty packed. So I was like,
And the silence for
uh
like the fully packed theater. That's wild.
yeah,
If I
it
were
was
there,
like
I'd be laughing my ass off. Like I would just be laughing just how
like
bad it
I'm
is.
like I'm pretty sure everybody just stayed in that movie theater just there was like anything interesting connected to
Yeah.
Spider-Man, which
That's
there
why I was
is,
gonna
but
watch it until the director fucking spoiled it. I was like, oh, now I have to
Well, they
don't
put it in the
watch.
fucking trailer, right? So,
well,
The
it's not in
director
the movie,
spoiled it on a
Sean.
Twitter thread.
Like all of the
hmm,
Spider-Man things that are in the trailer, Sean, they're not in the
Are in the
movie.
movie. Yeah.
I know I've heard about that. Besides
But yeah,
Vulture,
like yeah, but like the whole like the way the movie is structured is like it feels very rushed. I don't know if there's a good cut of this movie, but
How
it
long is it?
feels. Uh, I want to say maybe like 2 hours even, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's shorter.
Yeah.
Um, it feels very rushed. You don't give a shit about anybody in this movie. The movie ends in a very weird like note before the end credit scenes. It just ends with Jared Leto flying through the city right after he killed Matt Smith. Um,
Oh shit, he killed Matt Smith. How's Matt Smith in this movie? Because that's what I want to know.
um,
yeah, me too.
I mean, he's pretty goofy. He's maybe the best part of the movie if you're into
Okay, that's
that.
good to hear.
He
Yeah.
he kind of brings that Venom vibe into the movie, which I don't know. I don't think this movie was going for humor. I think it was trying to take itself too seriously at times. Even though the people that defend this movie are like, oh, it's supposed to be like a '90s comic book movie. It
Like
doesn't feel
Nathan.
like that. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that. It's not campy in a good way. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just
Also,
bad.
Tyrese is in this movie, and I don't know why he's in it, but he's he's barely in it. He does absolutely nothing in the movie. It
It
just
doesn't
feels
feel like
like
a 2000s movie where in a time where comic book movies weren't, you know, pretty much liked by people.
yeah, um, yeah, like the whole experience with that movie. I'll say this: the Morbius drink that AMC is selling better than the movie.
Is it a good drink? What's
It's
in
a
it?
really good drink. It's I think it's tequila. It's Patron,
Oh, that sounds
mixed.
good.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's mixed with like some kind of juice. I don't remember exactly what, but it's a really good drink. It
Yeah.
definitely got
get
me through the movie.
some of that in Anaheim in May.
Yeah.
You ever see Morbius instead of Top Gun?
It's a double feature.
Yeah. And honestly, like right after the credits roll, I just left because I had just seen the end credits
They
that
leaked
leaked online.
everywhere.
Yeah, so
You should have
I was
stayed for
almost
the reaction, the audience
I
reaction.
oh I was tempted to stay just to see people's reaction to like the bullshit, but I was like,
I've seen
nah,
people just like get
I gotta go
like
pee.
walk away angry from that movie.
But yeah, that's my experience with Morbius. Very mediocre movie, very bad movie. I don't know. It's not the type of bad where I would recommend watch it like something like Ambulance. It's just a waste of time, to be honest.
Or Deep Water, yeah.
Yeah, or Deep Water. Yeah. But do you wanna get into it?
I want to before we get into it, I want to preface with I watched Swiss Army Man for the first time in
Mm.
That's
anticipation
such a good
for
movie,
Everything All at Once, or Everything Everywhere All at
hmm
Once.
which is
From
now the
also from the
highest rated
Daniels.
movie on Letterboxd.
Yeah, it's crazy. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But Swiss Army Man, it was a great time. Like this movie is about a farting corpse, but it's also like so beautiful and such a great exploration of the friendships we form in life and how they get us through life. It's so cool. Like this movie is really cool, and a lot of good like Daniel Radcliffe. I think it was fucking snubbed whatever year that was for supporting actor. He was incredible
2014,
in this movie.
2014, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this movie?
Yeah,
I
like
haven't.
the second it came out, loved it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I haven't
It's
seen it since it came out. I don't really remember much, but I
honestly,
should
man,
probably watch it.
it's my favorite Paul Dano movie.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
He's great in it. Yeah.
He's in it?
He's the lead.
Oh, interesting.
yeah, that's how long it's been for you. I mean, I
Yeah.
think Daniel
That's been
Radcliffe
like what
is really good too.
Didn't it come out like 2015, 16?
8? It's been
Something.
8 years. What the
2014, I think.
fuck?
2014, yeah.
Jesus,
Been a long
bro.
time. I'm not young anymore.
None of us are.
But yeah, so that was I watched
Sure.
that in anticipation for what's end on the bid one. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Me and Edgar saw it in LA like last week.
Monday.
What a fucking movie! What a fucking movie! You start because I have a lot
Ah,
to say, but I think we should
yeah,
not say everything because I think we're planning on doing a separate episode just about this
yeah,
movie
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's
yeah.
so much to talk about. So,
Yeah.
just our
So
brief
basically,
thoughts on it, real quick.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, what the movie is about is just a multiverse movie. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah,
The third
But
eye.
the what?
The third eye.
Oh, the third.
All the trailers said that shit. Yeah.
Oh, I honestly I never saw the trailers for this movie, so I went
you didn't
fresh
see
Really?
it?
into it. Not really.
Wow,
I think
Trailers are really good.
every time I watched like something about the trailer, it was like halfway through whenever I walked into a movie theater, so I didn't
oh,
really pay
interesting.
attention to
Okay,
it.
the trailer was
Um, so
great.
I so I kind of went like fresh into the movie, not really knowing much about it. Um, but yeah, this movie it fucking slaps.
Yeah,
It's I don't think I've seen a movie so that it's so confident in itself since
exactly.
maybe Scott Pilgrim versus the World with
It's
Edgar
very
Wright.
similar, and it's like,
Hmm.
Yeah,
yeah,
Does it
yeah.
make fun of the MCU a lot, or
no,
what's the whole multiverse stuff about?
No, 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 no. It's like its
it's its
own
own
lore.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like the confidence of this movie are I could only dream of making something like this
exactly.
someday. Like it's very balls. It's a very ballsy movie. Um, the characters are incredible. Everybody has their own time to shine. And you don't really feel like anybody gets more time than the other. I feel like everything is um like has a purpose like for the story and for everybody's like characters arc, especially Mi-
Michelle
Michelle
Yeoh,
Michelle Yeoh and who plays the daughter
Stephanie, Stephanie Shu, I think.
Shu, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was in. Isn't she
she's in
in
Mrs. Maisel.
yeah, Mrs. Maisel. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, like it's just
He's also in
like
Shang-Chi, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah, she is. I don't know. I don't remember her role, but she is in the movie.
Oh,
I think it's just like a minor role. Like it might have been like during the scene with Abomination, but I don't remember to be honest.
okay.
I think so too.
But yeah, like it's just so imaginative and colorful and quirky. Yet, despite being like so fun and confident in itself, it's also very like thematically rich, and it's almost like everything that you could hope for from a movie. Um, I think I don't know if I would say this is my favorite performance from Michelle, but it's definitely up there because she gets to do a lot. She gets to do comedy, she gets to do drama, she gets to do action, she gets to do a little bit of everything like in in the world of film. So it's very fun, and I don't know, just like who like the biggest takeaway for me with when the movie ended and like we were like talking about it, like me and Josh is like, how the fuck can anybody like come up with a story like this? Like it almost gives me like a headache just
Exactly.
trying to like think about it because there's so many like it's very plot heavy, but it doesn't feel plot heavy if that makes sense.
Exactly.
A lot of time,
Exactly.
work,
Yeah.
and effort.
It's like
I think
it's
that a lot.
so here's the thing. It's so convoluted, yet they managed to make it accessible and managed to make it like it doesn't feel convoluted at all. Or not convoluted is the right word, but it's very like there's so much of this movie in the plot. So
Yeah,
much plot
I
in this
really
and
movie.
need
I
to
mean,
see it.
I
I can't
really
wait to see it.
hope
I'm super excited. Just
I
from hearing you guys talk about it, like I cannot wait to see it.
yeah, and I really
It
hope
seems batshit crazy.
the word of mouth, not just only for general audiences, but like from the industry, like fuck, I'm forgetting his name. Fucking Doctor
Who?
Sleep director.
Oh, Mike Flanagan.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Michael
Mike
tweeted
Mike
about it
Flanagan.
Flanagan.
There we go.
yesterday.
How
Yeah, yeah,
dare you?
yeah. Like just seeing like Mike Flanagan like talk about the movie is just like it's just like it kind of like warms your heart. Like
What did he say about
Exactly.
it?
He says
he
it's one of
basically
his
said that
favorite
it,
movies,
yeah, not only of the year, but like he thinks it's one of the best movies ever made.
On Twitter, he
which
said
I
that?
agree.
Yeah, and yeah, I would probably agree with that statement. I was talking to Josh after the movie how I think this would probably like go away on a second viewing just because it's a very overwhelming movie on the first viewing. You can't deny that.
But the
But
thing is, I've seen it twice. I've seen a
yeah,
second viewing, and it's even better with the second viewing.
yeah,
You saw it two
um,
times already.
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's
I
get
still think
into.
like the
It's like
movie is separated. The movie is separated in like chapters, and I think like the part two kind of like drags, but then it picks up
I
like
disagree.
right away almost. Again, I've only seen it once. Like that's just my experience, like on the first viewing, because it's a
Yeah,
very
no,
overwhelming movie. But
it's very overwhelming.
yeah, yeah, I really can't wait to watch it again because I feel like it's such a layered movie where anytime that you rewatch it, you're gonna get something new from it. And I can't
Exactly.
wait to get that experience.
So yeah, this fucking movie has taken my world by storm. I I like can't stop thinking about this movie. Literally, like I'm not joking at all. I saw it with Edgar in LA, like on Monday, and I saw it down Wednesday for the IMAX screenings that they did, which was a total fucking experience by itself. Oh, don't need to talk about it right now though. But this movie is one of the most imaginative, creative, ambitious, like wholly itself films I've ever seen, and it's has risen to like top 10 films of all time for me. Honestly, it's I fucking adore this movie. It's insane how that's actually real and it's actually comes together that well. It's so surprising that as ambitious as it is, as much as it does, it's so like it comes together beautifully in the ending with the way it focuses on Michelle Yeoh and the daughter's relationship. And like, yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because we're probably do a whole fucking episode about it because it deserves it. But
Hmm.
yeah, just fucking go see this movie if you're watching this. It's I don't mean to compare because we haven't seen it yet, but this movie's a blow Multiverse of Madness out of the fucking water. It's
This movie is
I mean,
so good that apparently Josh cried like 3 or 4. I didn't
I
notice.
I tried a lot during this movie, and even the second time, there's just so many moments towards the end that are so like thematically perfect and wrap the whole story around so well. Just I'm not to spoil it, but like the way Doodly Eyes come in around through this movie, the way you think something else is gonna happen with the Doodly Eyes plot, but the way it like reveals itself is fucking tears is rolling down my face.
Yeah,
It's
there's like stuff about this movie that you think it's just gonna be a throwaway joke, like the googly eyes,
exactly.
or like a certain circle, like our taxes papers.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be like, it's just a pretty funny joke, but it comes back and in a really meaningful, powerful way, and
Yeah.
I really can't wait to go back to see the stuff that I missed on my first viewing.
And the way they managed to make an IRS building look this fucking good and better than most fucking movies I've seen is so impressive. And on a $35 million budget, like that is absolutely insane. That
Yeah,
this movie has that low of a budget, it's insane.
we need to bring mid-budget blockbusters spectrum.
Yeah,
The Green Knight.
A24 has been killing it with those.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Just
yeah,
go
this
see
is
this
like
movie,
Upset.
please. Fucking make this movie successful so it could get the word of mouth and the
I'm seeing it
success
this
that
week.
it so deserves. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna be seeing
we'll
later
probably
this week.
do a whole spoiler review on this once more
When
people see it.
When does this movie go wide?
This Friday, April 8th.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm seeing it on Saturday.
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm gonna try to watch it sometime.
I
The
aim to see this movie
weekend
so
if I have
much in
time.
theaters. I want to see it. Like, this is to be what Nathan is. No Way Home is to be this movie for me.
This is the No Way Home to your Nathan.
It is. Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot of people like this is gonna be a really good movie for everyone else.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen nothing but like overwhelming positivity for this movie.
Yep,
And
me
it's
too.
like you said, it's like the highest rated movie on Letterboxd right now, which is wild and so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to add to that conversation?
No, I think we touched on everything, at least that I watched this month.
Not everything. We still have two specific movies.
Yeah. What else?
I'm just gonna touch on them real quickly, and then we can close this thing up. Two little masterpieces by a little author J.K. Rowling.
Oh no! Oh god, do we
Fantastic
have to?
Beasts and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and the Crimes of Grindelwald. Um,
Okay, just to
First of
start this,
all,
fuck J.K. Rowling. Okay, go Ledger.
yeah. First of all, you really want to hear my thoughts on those two movies, you can go read my analysis essay, whatever, on
Hell yeah.
Loud and Clear Reviews. It honestly, I was surprised at myself at how long that turned out to be. I had to actually cut some stuff to make it shorter. I went up to like 10 fucking pages, and that's like, and half of that is just the Crimes of Grindelwald. But yeah, those. I honestly don't mind the first movie, but man, is the Crimes of Grindelwald such a fucking mess. Um, a perfect example, like how we mentioned how in Everything Everywhere All at Once, it feels uh, like like the plot could have easily like overshadowed the characters, but it like they go hand in hand. In the Crimes of Grindelwald is the complete opposite. Like
Yeah.
like Eddie Redmayne's character, he has no purpose in that movie other than to drive the plot. Um, One of the funniest things to me is that the Crimes of Grindelwald almost feels embarrassed to be a sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So instead of making another spin-off starring Dumbledore, you have a cameo with Jude Law playing the character, um, telling Eddie Redmayne's character that he needs to be part of this story, even though again he has no purpose in this story. So yeah, it's a very fucking messy franchise that I can't wait to. I honestly can't wait to see what a mess the third one is, which
It's crazy
allegedly
that I've
is
heard
good.
like it's the best of the series from like numerous people.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't know. That's much to me, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised because I don't think J.K. Rowling is like the primary like
Yeah, someone else
screenwriter for
came
that
in to
one.
like write it, right?
Yeah, the writer for basically all of the Harry Potter movies came back.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the guy that adapted the books came back for the third one, I think. So yeah, hopefully it's good, but I don't have much hope for it. After JK's weird.
Fucking evil spouting shit.
Okay, let me say this. I don't know why this is a plot in a Harry Potter spin-off movie, but there's an entire subplot in the climax of the movie of a character in the past that used magic um to rape the mother of another character in the movie, and it's just
Wow, okay.
it's out of it feels like it has no purpose in the movie, and the only reason why it's in the movie is so it can be like a misdirect to us to the final twist
Oh,
of the
really?
movie. Yeah, and it's just like it's really fucking stupid. I'm glad she's not like fully the primary screenwriter for the new one, but
Yeah.
again, I don't really care anymore. Like I'm just watching it for shits and giggles at this point. I'm honestly just watching it because I have to review it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But
I'm muted, Sean.
Sean, is there anything else you would want to talk about?
I actually
Third
want to
movie?
touch on
I was
since
about to
this.
say, I was
You know,
about to
Sean?
say, I have nothing to say about these movies other than they should never been made, and that they both derail from Harry Potter and its legacy so much for me that I feel like I don't want anything to do with Harry Potter besides J.K. Rowling. I just don't care
Yeah.
about that universe anymore because of those movies. The way those
Yeah,
movies
it's sad
have made me feel.
how
Like that game that's
franchises
gonna
gone
come out
downhill.
is gonna be fucking amazing probably, but I don't really care about that universe anymore the way I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like these movies are what people thought the prequels for Star Wars were.
No,
Yeah,
because they
maybe.
still had hype going. They still had something going for them. Like everyone wanted to see Anakin become Vader, right? Eventually, there's nothing here that's going for in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure
think
these movies are not going to be appreciated because they're just bland. The prequels are bland. They just have issues.
yeah.
One more thing that we did on since we've all seen it that technically did come out in March was the first episode of Moon Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We did on that. What do you think, Sean?
Hey,
I loved it so much. I love it so much because Oscar Isaac is so good in it, and I love like the whole Egyptian thing that they're doing with it. Like Egyptian lore is my favorite shit. And
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke is fucking incredible as that cultist dude. The
Mm-hmm.
acting is amazing. The cinematography with the mirrors, the use of mirrors in
Oh,
the
it's
actual the
so
show, and
good.
then the use of sand mirrors and glass and reflections to essentially show his multiple personalities. It's fucking like cinema at its peak.
Speak. As for me, I really like the first episode. I have to watch obviously the rest of the show. Really mix reactions, at least from what I've seen. Some people really dig it, others not
Yeah.
so much. At least
I
for
thought
the
everyone
rest
liked
of
it.
the I no, well, at least the critics that have seen most of the show. But yeah, this first episode, like that opening scene, is maybe the
It's
best.
amazing.
Is the best shot scene in the MCU that is based like on Earth. Like, it isn't like on space, like very colorful and any of that. It's just like incredible. The thing with the with the broken piece of glasses, like him put it on
Yeah,
the on his like sandals. It immediately like hooks you with who this guy is, with the
Yeah.
antagonist of the movie, with
it's so
Ethan Hawke.
mysterious. Like this show asks so many questions, and that's still my biggest question. Just what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah,
And you kind of
like
understand it because again, the use of glass and mirrors and multiple personalities, it all kind of
Mm-hmm.
relates, you know,
yeah,
reflections.
and Oscar Isaac with a British accent is the best thing probably so far in
A lot of people hate
2022.
on the accent, but I love it.
I like it.
So like,
It's fucking
yeah,
like you can tell he's having the time of his life doing that
exactly.
accent. So, but yeah, overall, very solid episode. Some of the actions doesn't well, not so much the action, but like the CGI
The CG
isn't
is
the
a
best.
mess, I think.
Yeah,
The car chase was it was okay. The
I think they were
cupcake,
shot really well. It's just the CG wasn't great.
yeah,
yeah.
like the
They
way
they went on
they
location for that area. I
with
think it wasn't CG.
Yeah,
well, it doesn't look like it, my guy.
those
Well,
hills.
not the
Uh,
Yeah, that
cars,
looks
not the
fake.
cars. The actual area that they're in.
The
oh,
village.
like in the village.
I think they filmed on location.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that looked good. The editing and the action sequences like were it's such a great way to place you like in Steven's
exactly.
like shoes, like not really knowing like what the hell is going on with this show.
Mm.
I
Until
really
the very end,
intrigued.
and when you actually see what he's been doing the whole time.
Yeah, I'm really interested how this show is gonna play out. I feel like it could go in a very like interesting direction, almost like in the style of I don't know if you guys watch Legion on FX.
I've heard good
Yeah.
things, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, like around like that weird vibe, like like several like personalities type of thing. I feel like it could go in that direction. It could like really botch like the whole mental illness thing, but I really hope it will. Um, hopefully the people that have actually liked the show are right. But yeah, I really like the first episode. I think it's really solid.
Yeah. So
Did you guys
like,
hear about how Oscar Isaac talked about um like how he didn't the showrunners didn't want Stephen Grant to be like a billionaire, and they went with a completely different like gift shop kind of route
Well, yeah, because Mark
for his
Spector, I
character.
think, in the comics, that's the billionaire
That's the
personality.
actual. No, Mark Spector is the actual person. Stephen Grant is a billionaire, but they changed him
Oh, really?
to a gift shop person because it was too similar to
Interesting.
Batman, essentially. Yeah, like Oscar Isaac just put that in an interview.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
basically Batman with mental illness, but then you think about it, Batman has mental problems.
exactly.
True.
But yeah,
And
I
a
really
murder.
liked the first episode. Yeah, I think that's some of the best cinematography we've seen in the MCU yet. Like they're finally doing long takes with like dynamic camera work in those action scenes, and it's all
Yeah,
really good.
the
And
last shot
the
was
editing, like
incredible.
the way it's his he like yeah, like Edgar said that during action scenes, the way it's edited is fantastic. And Oscar Isaac is, I mean, we know Oscar Isaac's amazing, but he's just continuing to be amazing in this show. And I'm really intrigued to where the show's going. So yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah. Is that everything that we've wanted to discuss for this episode?
I think that's everything. Sean, do you have anything else to add?
I love him.
What was that?
You know what I said.
Okay. But I think before we close the show, should we kind of make an announcement about maybe future episodes of what we're thinking of doing?
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. I think we want to do. I'm not gonna talk about which movie, but eventually we're gonna hopefully start doing commentaries for movies.
Yeah.
Which movies we're gonna do that for? That's gonna be revealed later in the future, but
Also, we don't
hopefully
know
that
yet.
pans. Yeah. Also, we don't know. There's contenders. There's contenders. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that could be a really like fun
Yeah, it should be
project.
fun.
That's gonna be awesome.
Fun stuff that we're coming on this channel on this podcast.
Yeah, and maybe
And
a
tune in
crossover
for maybe a little
episode.
crossover. I was about to say, yeah, a little crossover with another channel. Maybe next week. Maybe for the spoiler review of everything everywhere all at once. So tune in.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that's it for tonight, for today's episode, I would like to thank Sean for being one of our now numerous guests we've had so far
Yeah,
in
we've had
the
tons.
show.
Yeah.
Numero uno.
Yeah, we've had Alden, we've had
Alden, Evan several times now.
Evan, Trey. We've had a lot of
Yeah.
people now. Yeah.
With more in the future too.
Yeah, hopefully we're gonna try to bring a representative from Norway. So hopefully, someday.
Be different
someday.
time to record during then. So
Different
we'll see.
time zone.
Yeah. But anyway, where can people find you, Sean?
Daimyo Devil DAIMYO _ DEVIL at
Nice.
Twitters.
Twitter.
We're all Stephen Grant.
I know.
That's all other personality disorder.
All of us have that in our group chats, but anyway, that's not the point. Sean, what are you doing, and where can people find you?
Yeah, so that
you
Daimyo
said it.
Devil.
Oh wait, Sean, Josh. I meant Josh.
No, he's definitely Stephen
yeah,
Grant.
you'd find me at
What day is it? Friday? No, it's Sunday.
It's Sunday. Can I have a steak?
that scene was so good in the restaurant.
That
when
was
he's
a good
crying.
scene.
Great. But yeah, you'd find me, Josh here. You'd find me at Josh D. Woodbury on Twitter, and you'd find our podcast on Twitter also at WHFG podcast on Twitter. So though that's where we announce all the shows, what we're doing, and find us there, find me there, and yeah, good episode. Fun talking with you guys tonight.
Pretty.
Edgar, where do people find you?
Well, you can find me at the ad over there in the screen because I'm not gonna pronounce that ad. anymore. It's really fucking tricky for
Edkabar.
me. Edkabar.
Edkabar.
Edkabar. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. That's mostly where I spend my time. You can look me up, ignoring all of the comments under my Will Smith tweet. Also, you can find my you can find my latest work on the Fantastic Beasts movies, and also on the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes like retro review. Over there are the guys with loud and loud. I really am Steven in America. Loud and clear reviews. But yeah, fun episode, and hopefully you'll join us for next time and whatever else we have
Yeah.
in store for you guys in the future. And
Remember,
like,
we love
subscribe,
movies.
ring the bell.
Movies.
The
San Diego boy.
movies. San Diego boy. See you in the
Well,
next one. Remember, we make podcasts better. ASMR, a little bit of ASMR.
Heartbreak feels
Yeah.
really good here. Yeah, yeah.
shut up, Stephen
They don't
Grant.
come in. Bye.